Akwantufuo radio. I put to 77 put the man on you. Akwantufuo radio. Papa Smiley, awareness in my wamo. Akwantufuo radio. I put to 77 put the man on you. Akwantufuo radio. Papa Smiley, awareness in my wamo. And now he goes by the name Papa Smiley, and got the vibe that will make you feel irate. Tune in and stay tuned to Bamaso. It's a party the King Smiley, Nana Wokwaso. Yo, on in Nanka Saturn and Web. Na Pamphone so reborn in Chidom. From Monday to Friday, 3 to 7 p.m. Tune in to Bamaso on Akwantufuo radio. Yo, Akwantufuo radio. I put to 77 put the man on you. Akwantufuo radio. Papa Smiley, awareness in my wamo. Akwantufuo radio. I put to 77 put the man on you. Akwantufuo radio. Papa Smiley, awareness in my wamo. Yo, from here to foreign, you give us a reason to listen to radio. Papa Smiley, anyebo.
Eye Pamaso. Eye Pamaso. And Penisa, yes, Sumanian Sophonia, Sumana Montaigne, and no confess a crumwa or Timubi. Could see a Papa Smiley in the bed of Fatrancy. Obey you, chum, my moon some, a man woman some, and in some polo. No mercy for the cripple. Papa, you chummy uncle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Welcome to Banaso, a place where the sun and Ghanaians come together to shape the Ghana they hope for. Rising as co-creators and catalysts in making Ghana a better place for all. Oh Ghana, our home, our pride, the dream still lies deep inside. Through every hand, through every heart, the change we see begins with us. Together we rise, together we build. Oh, Bamaso, the time is now. The Ghana we hope for starts with us somehow. Yeah. No blame, no fear, no weight again. Let's use our voice, let's use our brain. With heart and faith, we take a stand to build this nation hand in hand. Call it Build Ghana. We will do it now. We will bring the light. The people's power, we will make it shine. You and I combine. Celebrate by my soul. By my soul. Yeah, the bobo, you know. Together we rise, together we build. Oh, by my soul. The time is now. The Ghana we hope for lives in us now. Oh, by my soul. Where the discerning come to think, to act, and to build up. Together we rise for the Ghana we dream of. Yeah. A place where the sun and Ghanaians come together to shape the Ghana they hope for. Rising as co-creators and catalysts in making Ghana a better place for all. Oh Ghana, our home, our pride, the dream still lies deep inside. Through every hand, through every heart, the change we see begins with us. Together we rise, together we build. Oh, Bamaso, the time is now. The Ghana we hope for starts with us somehow. Yeah, no blame, no fear, no weight again. Let's use our voice, let's use our brain. With heart and faith, we take a stand to build this nation hand in hand. Call it Build Ghana. We will do it now. We will bring the light, the people's power. Wow, wow. We will make it shine. You and I combine. Celebrate by my soul. By my soul. Yeah, the boom, you know. Together we rise, together we rise, together we build. Oh, by my soul. The time is now. The Ghana we hope for lives in us now. Oh, by my soul. By my soul. Where the discerning come to think, to act, and to build up. Together we rise for the Ghana we dream of.
It is Wednesday, the 26th of November 2025. 45 past 1600 hours GMT. A very, very late start, you know. When certain duty calls, you can't avoid them. So we had to attend to some duties. But hey, we are here. Back once again on Bamaso, where discerning Ghanaians with discerning thoughts, we come deliberating on all possibilities with which we would be able to rise as co-creators and catalysts in the making of a fantastic Ghana. Today being Wednesday, we keep it simple, questions and answers. I know there are some questions that you have been wondering where the answers will be coming from. This is the place. Bring all your questions. And I know life is a solution unto itself, so your questions will definitely be coming with answers from units of life as well. So whatever the question may be, just put it on the table today. But that being said, we still operate within the fundamental laws of Akwantufuo Radio and Bamaso, to be precise. Here we come knowing ourselves as Ghanaians who are ready to bounce on each other to use our various capabilities, our various strengths, to support each other, to unfold a better version of ourselves, so that together we would be able to make Ghana a very fantastic place once again. Here, we work with universal wisdom, nature's wisdom, that demands that every part of the whole has some importance. Every part of the whole has a role to play. When we allow our human egos to step in the way, we tend to disregard parts of the whole. But to the whole, it never disregard any part of itself, because when a part of the whole is left behind, the whole is no more a whole. You get it? You get it? That's cool. That's cool. Yes, I'm happy you got it. So we are here just to operate as Ghanaians, who, irrespective of our directions, irrespective of our beliefs, irrespective of our parties, irrespective of our occupations, among other things, we are all seeking to make Ghana a very beautiful, beautiful place. Yes, our religion, our parties, the schools that we went to, the various other identities that we may have would have an influence on the direction with which we would take in getting our nation fixed. However, one thing stands firm, strong, and unchangeable. We want the very best for our dear nation, Ghana. And that being said as well, I will tell you, if for any reason, any other identity, any other differences that we may have among ourselves causes you to disrespect a fellow Ghanaian, to look down upon another Ghanaian, what you are simply telling yourself is that other identity that caused you, or that other identity of which you looked at to disrespect a fellow Ghanaian, that identity is more important than the person being a Ghanaian. That is what it means. So if for any reason someone being a member of Party A or Party B, being a member of this religion or what have you, it causes you to disregard, disrepute, should we add more? Look down upon, treat someone derogatorily, have some stereotypical attitudes towards another. What you are simply telling yourself is that which caused you to do that is more important than the person being a Ghanaian. It's quite unfortunate we fall into such traps, and we disregard ourselves, knowing very well that in the context of what we're doing here, we being Ghanaians stands supreme. So what then happens? Nothing whatsoever should separate us from the importance of our Ghanaian identity, once again in the context of what we do here. So to this effect, I would humbly welcome you once again to today's edition of Bamaso Questions and Answers. And Shaka says, Ronkona di Mudon Koma, baby, I will be our feeder that Akwantufuo Radio, Abrapa Radio, and Akwantufuo Radio GH and so. And there, da for Friaba, Ukwada. Yabaya betwatu adwene bioni ahwede wetimi awe ama o my Ghana akoni aha ye ntiase e ba akon ye nyina ye play toys ana playmate nti ye de ehu di agro se de be ya ye ho be ye nden ye betumi aboabo ye ho na yetumi aye timamufu a ye betumi aboa aye de ye wo se ye yo se de tie bia ama o my Ghana akoni nti yeba ye ho adwuma adwuma ni bi wo ho no mu a ye ya na chese wo se ye hwe kwan a ye fa so ene ye ho edi ye ho kita ho bi wo ho no mu adwuma ni bi wo ho no mu a wo se wo ye o patience ho adwuma, right? Nti wo bi betia o na so wo se obo fu ho na ohun se o patience no frefro mo wa ho mo ha family adwuma ebi wo ho no ma obitimi ka asem bi na hwe akoma wo ze wisdom etawumu no catch you say hey minua I'm here in preko achi enkoto ateche mu bi dabi esa wonso oye preko oye so that density and wisdom ka sa asem ne kire wo wisdom ka kire say hey dabi nyabotre dwene ho kakra bi or prompto sa time no the ego that always seeks to satisfy its own self no goes what you say kebichire no or why the ego, that is what the ego does. The ego wants to be right at all times. Hardly the ego wants to grow. The ego, they be our person no say yes. Me na me right, me na me correct. Or be call all length. Ubon say wisdom ete baby no or tietiem fro no fro hey of abet nyabutre of abet is wontie hey the ego a hard one pa enti ye be ye ho adwuma ketewa ya ma kan kire wo se adwuma no nye adwuma ketewa adwuma eso emu api doso nye pa enti memo akwaba e de abadwuma die so na asembusare ya no yie eno anti ne aba ha fo asembusa no bra na se de wani tu ya no life a nyina ye part of yi oye anu yi ema ne ho ewo asembusa bia ye wo mu nti se question bia na awa answer na beba within life na be free aba what I say se free Pluto kra na eba se free Mars kra na eba it is still within this universe, it is still within this life nti for asembusa na bra sometimes some people would have to go on other planets to be able to bring the answers to you nti go the fabra for our question bra the very ones who have to go on other planets to bring the answers they will do that and then bring you the answer why nti enai ukudai sauti ani said ye na natena na asare bedi akone Dr. Ebenezer Amova Boatin wo ya adwuma adwuma na ne papa yontu you yebebo ne din de bia na nanketia ai nanketia se bronya ba na mafina nanketia so na mafino because of his thoughtfulness na mafino pa nana we say continue to rise in power se nyame adom na se unya ma idea se nyame adom na se ekoba se mitimi de ba ko anamienu bi aka ho aso na say ye mema na wo afamu aba what I say ko ni beje pa oni beje nana America for United Kingdom baby a wote bia Ghana France Finland Spain for Belgium baby a medenchi ama what metunchi more than element na sonchi anim into our continuous questions and answers one more time when it you could add I'll grow nipple for me so we seek to be able to round up wow say I be the chief for ba just to hold the fort a little bit there we will be able to travel until BB comes in with turning to God's word but for now we continue with our questions and answers of our body is right here with me of our body waba ntem nanse of our body bantem pa obantem which is very amazing and fantastic enti yankwa ahoma no so yema of our body akwaba as we wait for enuanom ne adofo akanyina for them to also join us and then we continue beautifully into of our body is ultimate kan omitu hwe na ene yanko bamasu na impom to of our body nice one ene da foforo ya ba nyesa asa o kasa no we chiri kakro kom de wana
me o na say ipa bre
averagely no every day no yeah be say how many miles ana oko
nanse kra de say me kunu wa me coach sa
you don't go so far on But say ufri kro no mu a eno no ya na ukọ be say.
Hankasa no kra no Belgium no kra de because of so mukro no something no. Yeah, we didn't share that name with it.
Kro no di samum.
It's you know. I'm say call 2 hours kra na it's what twam.
Okay, I see. Nti na say wo de no wo so wakọ mfa say amedo nesa wakọ meldo ho. Ameldo nesa. Enti wakọ de sa no you have every right obi a oye Belgium e wo nesa.
Krata so de ba o miss me sure say be sabat.
Krata so de tisa ne mu bia na ntisa o.
Aha.
What makes you think say on paper and sanity and no it may not be so in real life. What would be have you experienced something?
My experience be say baby I walk na almost say o mama o e ho de no kra no. Papa o mana wo omo no omo e wo ayi kakra ase na me. O wo omo wo ho no.
Meet you take kakra. I'm listening.
To say me fa say bi a wo fi Ghana na buy. Na obeji nationality.
That's right.
What be British citizen. Wo ma no a wo be wo omo no. Omo wo normal e wo anim kakra se no. Normal bebre.
Oh, okay. And na wo kire no so.
So na me sure say British mienu ankasa omo eye nkokofo bienu no so no. Omo so bewo ayi kakra se no. English kakra se no ma no. Krata so de ombeka na say yi. But me sure say say reality na ebepe.
Okay. Let us say you see canon we may want to go into the ideal situation of making sure say we treat each other with some fairness and some equality. But in reality, no, we haven't been able to reach there. Yes, sir.
No, sir, pepe. Reality ni pe.
I see. Say, we be say, ebi did be achi. As to how we've been able to travel on that journey, no, ebi did be achi. On the grounds of my Ghana, when it comes to we being able to treat each other in that fairness now, score near baby say.
No. What the one the who direct. I will move this you no but Ghana ne the yes. Papa, Ghana no cry no. In fact, they be 80-20.
80-20 nature say.
80-20 nature say. Your ma and Kofobi advantage say Kofobi.
Nti 80 ni gyina ho ma de
80 ni gyina ho ma nkrofo na omoye memfa so nye opportunity o mo lead no leaders no anka eso mo self no but here ho 80 no gyina ho ma leaders no say omo consider omo normal bepre mo obi o leader da consider no normal bepre obi opportunity bia ko sa leadership ayi no mo no akoka nkrofo ho no papa yeah, consider. Papa, what the mama example?
Okay.
And Growh yeah, na make we. O man, ebo mama. So mu ya pay say, or mama near ye both to her mama. Yeah, more big berry, we, the son no more wing in ammo. Ye trio mo cancel. O mine adwuma no mo ye na yi nyina ye trio mo ka. Saa na teacher ni bi afa moto a okwa akwakyera de. Papa moto na konya accident ro. Bar service ejato ebi amakọ okọ o fight eja no. No nya ni jipo na wapu. Teacher ni bi kroso batoy nsuo no wateto owu. School ni kroso teto owu. Fisherman fa ekɔpɛ adwenaba ma woto wadi ɔyɛ adwuma ma ɔman no saa nipa no kɔ ɔno yɛabɔ foto ama ne ba papa sɛ de adeɛ no fi no
Ethiopia so.
but politician no deɛ ɔwuyɛ no yɛsɛ yɛabɔ foto ama no adwumakora de wuyɛ sɛ yɛsɛ yɛ no state ayi ɛka ɛho noma nyinaa no kuyani bi nso kɔte koko no ɔbɔ ano no ɔwɔ aka no wawu na adaka kora yɛnyɛ sika ntɔ baabi a bɛsie no kora no hospital kora ɔkɔda no kora yɛnyɛ ntua ɔno nso ɛyɛ adwuma ɔman no enti no equality ne deɛ baabi a ɛme sɛ nyɛ pɛ saa kɔ sɛ kora sɛ wɔ hɔ
would you advocate for equality and I say appropriateness? Which is which? Because I'm say difference will move. I'm say say wo any abofra e wo ho no mo a em fan say wo no ba the amount of food yede ma akra na obe satisfied no say yede ma wa wo me neza if we go with equality it means to say if we are giving you 2 scoops we have to give your son or daughter also 2 scoops, right? Now it comes with so many ramifications as well. Just say you ma 2 scoops na you ma ban 2 scoops it may mean say wo udi a wo me oba no nso edi a bebere beka na asa say
sir.
Would you go for equality and I say appropriateness? Equity or something.
Equality no your bracket of microphobia the sankrofo the same bracket in them. Say equality as pepe na me man so treatment de be man no see de ma wo papa smile o ma so mo de no and I say me kura ma wo ma mi no na say me pese equality ni ya adwuma ese nkura no me titi o mu nyina no pepe
na no we are sure say natural there say
anya na sentina me say heaven kura no equality ni chede ni kosa.
Okay, all right, I see.
You know normal so musisi normal say
Dabi I don't know who fan say sisi say ekoba say ohunu say sisi dia and na chese nye it's not correct.
Say nye but ade no so sanity.
I say until I'm tell say ope de he say ye treat you obi no appropriately. Say ye hwe wo ebi a wo needs na ya hwe say the bisi manage situation e the amount. Is that possible as well?
No.
Okay, all right. Yeah, funny say abofra bi school or learning disability and as or learning difficulty as abofra no or will be only learning difficulty no. Omo time teaching time I the more say difference room. So nim sadi. Difference room. Of course, difference room. Yes, any advanced countries they give more time to abofrana or learning difficulty. Say offer body any also what I say. I say
and also advanced country.
Debut, send ye to say you can't say no. Let's just say they are working towards the ideal situation. It's we can equally learn that principle from them and also move on.
To the Okano ase ewo ne baby no metiase said the Okan can say nipa no said ebi a ne ho ayi na nke ye de aboa no but asa koye opposite nipa no ono hia moa no mom na esan mia no na me pese ne kire no nipa no ono hia moa no oni ye mia
okay is it oka ye mai mu asem ana
bia bia abrofu ise omo na ye ka anka bifo ya ba hai ye na nka ese mma ye ka ese mo enso ka no de ese kro mo mfa ma oh papa oh mfa but to say the okano ba bia de ha de ne de ya na ye kakra even though so be mia but ye kakra na ye kro mo say okrom pete di una mo ebika no eno mom kra na ne tip sa asem no kra de papa me ne o mo nya adwe because ade no pete no so free ba bi o ho a o kokuma se a na obeduru ebi ansa wo ma odi ya otwam okọ obeba ho kra na chese eno ma afofra nya bi nti oni ebi beka ba kuma se ote kwada so ho na ena wo nam ne da abu akwa edi papa ebe bi aka wache so tebia ade chin wa ade sa no pate bi ote so edi eno de ebi nka ya wache so be di madompen kura sa ba bubu I mean sure say ho ne de o twam akwa kakra bi o hye na frumo de ko ko anya ade sa no nti o ko
I see. Eti sabe no wo hia yen kan say.
En kan say okromu pete odi na ma odi tu ase. Odi tu ase. Because papa no ate ho. Ate ho odi atu ase.
I see. Nti ono de ono no oya oba finish off okra anya sa.
Finish off. Say papa bi ana ene no e to da me no ba o sister ono ne yelfa won se bi ana yira kofa mpra na ne mpra no bi a wotinkran ba bi driver ni bi do duru ho ba ku bi ana pa na okwa oni problem na oni ni tikrum ho de a tebia ote so je no ye oba no ase o twam ko ne o kwa pa o twam ko
na se kuruma ni de ono kra de onim connect no ohun
aha tebia ote ho ene twia otwe ho ano hye so sana ye na kwe
I see. Over body. You better see. Party. And then ukuda questions and answers. Say matutu ano kakra na enye bia wa question bia you want to put it out to the universe and
no papa
any question bia I'm say wa bre
me back
when you say over back the TBA no so
me pay you me honti no maybe no na se my ho de aba
mate why you any yanko akorachi so e na akorachi mo yanko kakra asa na ofa kwa me aba enti akorachi otime nka na I ready dia bamaso Minia boko de.
Boko na pome.
Nyamiadum. Bibia ye boko pa. Bibia ye boko. You. Ene da fufuro. Yaba. So, yaba. Questions and answers. Right. What in community be? It was just in the passing. Mm-hmm. Na wopɛ sɛ ɔka no bi di a ɛkwan da hɔ sɛ so wankasa no wa wobusa a question akyɛ de bi ayɛ na ɔyɛ narrations sɛ ɔwɔ question bi so a fa to pono so wode ani etie yɛnkɔ
Me ni the end na se be buy no. Over equity.
That's right. Also, of abodi, they say no or Belgium, right? Na minim say no Spain na no enti so aba betina Belgium dia ye free bibi ameldon che say obe melde wo ho ohun na watena ekuru nim ana na bibusa ne say obe melde e wo ho nom no owo equal accessibility to things in the country, just like obi a oye Belgium na. And o church mu say, oh, on paper no de saa na tie na mmom in reality no ebi wo upper hand esin ebi. That is where the conversation started from. And we went to our nation Ghana just to find out to say yes so say yehwe saa nneɛma na say na yɛdeɛ no esi tie. Do we look at other identities? I'm just adding that. Do we look at other identities other than the fact that this person is a Ghanaian? And yɛde preferential treatment. And say doesn't mean say the other identities, just like I said in the intro, no, doesn't mean say the other identities no. No more power etimi evoke that preferential treatment than you being a Ghanaian to be treated appropriately. And what is that sense of the direction? That's it. What is your cousin?
They was what 12 is me akọ Belgium.
What Belgium this year? What Belgium this year? Hono ye juma. Hono.
Beche yanwe ne mamutie nyina. De be se busan sele. Se mu Europe ne to de bia na why musa se wetie a ebi bokra is otumu koto aba we ntimi nim se European Union na yin na o cover se we peace na cover na ni status in space no ye dey no ye Spaniard na Spanish citizen na say o ye dey naturalized Spanish and na say
I say what I know when they say I think say I was all yet citizen and son of Wako Melody Ewo baby sa so because ya had the Senate here and ran here down EU nimuno say be our say oko ekotena European country you need to have that EU passport no you need to have that EU passport and sana what you mean I make it that move no I don't know so I'm more indefinite yes I ewo dia of body change way
Papa
who didn't it
within Europe ubetimi anya residence will be a Spain na opesa obetra se Belgium oba apply for EU resident
okay
will Spain with your Ghana passport wetimi abetra ha but no oba enye ntem to say bia obi okra passport no oba no passport then the oba ya na obetra ba to say bia me fan say me kura Ghana passport and Nigeria passport na me ban ma apply EU no na me saka EU residence na me ba say minya adwuma ansa on the mention no
yeah
say minya adwuma minya nipa no ma me contract say contract ni wo ye adwuma ansa maje watu
okay
sanity
all right I see you any bombardier
more normal free nipa no be employ won ho antino e be a way of special for be a truck driver or a way driver tina me nyasa anybody no na or residents and also no yama EU residents
Mm-hmm.
a difference with permanent resident in a crowd and it is anity.
Okay. Okay. All right then. Bombardier. What's more? Why?
Yeah. So o say adibia no say baka just we are citizen kra na de bia ka say sati enya nyepe e na kwa da na to no say ay ka say obi anya obi aba obi so that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Obi aba obi and you pen social stratification so Osha Ghana constitution yen nyinaa yɛ equal before the law but no maybe we see the president the first gentleman of the land. Oh, wokɔhwɛ president yi na yɛ ma no president ɛma obiara eti no wohia ambulance na president wohia ambulance ɔsɛ yɛkɔ president no ɛde ambulance no kɔma no. Article 57 clause 2 no say the president shall take precedence over all other persons in Ghana. So next we say we are all equal for the law but obi because you see president no on the hwe nyinaa so nti no yɛdwene sɛ n'adwene ne ɛdɔɔso sɛ wɔa bia woyɛ timemfo de wokɔ akɔda wosɔre ɔbɛdi president atem wopɛ aduane firi no hɔ wopɛ nsuo firi no hɔ wopɛ weiwi firi no hɔ eti yɛpɛ sɛ president no live comfortable life nti na ɛma ne saa ɛnɔm no nyinaa no eti woba America mema kɔfo plane ba yɛsi Donald Trump ɔba kɔfo Air Force One so that's it no wakɔfa ne the helicopter equivalent no na the nena wɔka about equality no now work about property the right word here equity.
Mm-hmm.
So equality and equity and then now can was equality is equal rights one but you know equal rights no equal equality no it can be unfair so that's here I think that is equal because 1 + 1 is equal no it's 2 and the mathematics but enipa afemu no sɛ woyɛ biribiara sɛ equal meka gye sɛ wɔn kwampa a wopɛ sɛ wɔde equal rights ma wɔn kwa no they will even suffer more sɛ yɛka equality a ɛkyɛ sɛ woma obiara the same resources it doesn't matter the status of the person nti papa sɛ yɛ ɔga no yɛsi yɛkyɛ 1 million a yɛsɛ equality no yɛpɛ me bo a nti deɛ ɛnura na yɛka despite mo asɛm na ɔmo billion ɛne Ibrahim ama no ɔmo nso bɛnya 1 million me bo a.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Enti wa na woka se na 1% na ye rich no sa 1% na yesa de 1 million akoka omo na wo so wonya 1 million mebo a.
Mhm.
Enti se na des ba 1 million say the 1 million can 2 million na say wo 0 say wo wonya 1 million but des by 2 million. Enti se wo fight for equality so wonya 1 million na obeka se despite no what so yesikeni na so onye sikeni. That is why we talk about equity. Equity ni say giving someone or somebody the resources that we here to achieve the same outcome. Enti say ye kwahwe ball na ya to war evan say we dey wuti obi ya to war ye say obi anhwe war me ye 6 feet who ye 2 feet and na ye dey equality o ye dey the same platform I evan say be ye 5 meters and that's say one so ye 10 meters see ye may the same platform asala wuti me hwe ball ni bi what did the can say wow yes short lingo no wuntimi hwe bɔ no bi even though say yɛsi yɛnyina sɛ equality na pɛ yɛma obi yɛnyim one year 10 meters meme one year even say be 10 feet meme 7 feet wo yɛ 2 feet ɛna yɛsi yɛnyina nkɔgyina 3 feet platform so meme bɛgyina 3 feet no bɛka 7 no na manya 10 feet no metuma hwe bɔ no but equity ni kyerɛ sɛ wo a woyɛ midget no ana woyɛ dwarf no ana sɛ woyɛ short lingo no ye mount 3 feet no ye be mount 7 feet at the count 3 feet no na the all 7 feet no man 3 feet because ye 3 feet na sla no obetuma hwe ball no enu na to the be friend no positive affirmation e bi say Ghana bibia na se bibia na ye Africa nya ye paternalistic de bia me man kwa na man kwa dem enso kwa dem okoda na yinche ne yin be man advice no anopa ya elders focus ya na okoka yes we abom person on ka say bia na yire kra na man sa advice no because ye Africa de generally ye find myself mu ye sex toys ye mfa mu nya bibia ye bubu man pre bibia mu enti etimi ye election say aha de ebia ye reserve 10 seats ama ema so we an equality dia and obi anko fight enti obabie na obekọ parliament papa so ti dem kana say obabie na obekọ parliament enti etimi reserve say aha de eye emanko ade enti emanko na enko ye yi no and you find the positive affirmation say ye be say etimi bo encouraging because we share difficulties ni challenges be we yi mu a ebe ye den say emani ni mema nyina akọ baby okwa etimi ka say emema nkwa nso na enko depend on the demography over America won say ye red district ni a political way e say maneuver map no na baby a Republican for no ohun say baby a Democrat for no do so no wakochem no da kokko Republican for say Democrat no omunwini ye de akokko ta man hu say baby wo ha o say ye district no ye ma bibi fo nko a because ye ni say equality a emrofo ndro say before no bibi ni be no obetumako assembly wonom it me reserving to be now almost state supreme court wabagu say map na de ban no even though say yeah equality no disfavor minorities no it to the be issue equality to the be issue equity. Africa as a continent, we don't need equality, we need equity, because the rich and the poor government as one and no you can about 3 essays now you can some now nankofo overkai 7 years ago Akwantufuo FDS one na Mustafa America say Ghana the member the yemfa free HS ni say Ghana for member omo once na omo hwe napkin ni ebusa say ehimfa na nkra ne beda wu omo antie o de member be equity obi a betima ba school no failing akora kwacho BC ye failing ye man 30% mark grants na kwacho nti obi a be pass say equality no enyo no munyina ko ya say college for nka say product free 3 HS for nkwa ni nyina no mabombo no but equity no che say ye betima faili bi yes tranwanemu ye boawo ye ka say tranwanemu a enye say ye punish wo ye pe say usa akwai say wo ye remedial class ye pe say ye du ko ni ma na wa faili we dey say wo ko ni ma obeye yintimi tranwanemu na yentimi mboawo. We have given that student the resources a bit more born and the same outcome, so a bit more the next time. No, it's African equity, no. So, but Omaya Ebia, who show more human development index, who show almost they live on living wage. Give me those government asset minimum wage, you know. Who was can know Onyeni ye baby a pen because at that is Ghana any working class. We have sub working class. Ejumani no one can say go for ye juma. It's any working class no. Any only working class or middle class. Medical just say or no and here no and no one when you skinny or no to me according to can medical or might be a medical class born the dozen. Even America can medical either you are working or you are rich. America out of 345 million people, you see 1% paying this skinny now. 1% out of 3 about 3 million people. So, and but ultimately share some of the European countries say Finland money is ready mono or more rich almost parity. Rich in ni shade ni uko Singapore, uko Africa kwa Malaysia Mauritius. Seychelles Island no omo population small no omo per capita income no so. So no uma equality ni kra na obi anka say na me ho kire me o petuma mouse kani ni ye mo obi 100 million me ye van say ka me ni bi kra no me ho kire me na makoka say me pay equality. But Africa no gab no so dodo hwe normal constitution na ade bi ebodim bia president na yebo so president na yebo ene enemi Over hospital no they can say equality okay yema obia I can say yempitu obia the same baby na what chronic disease ebia who here intravenous who here diabetes edru it was say yema the resource a bit ma boa ma unwato obi no na tipa no in medicine kwa your baby charge you share the level of I can say you know the level of danger. It is about time by hospital. Now me bad some tipa me a yen kohwe say equality no this is for nyina ma won chen. You be call pregnant because one di onipa be wiase. Or carry or you one person or you two. Papa okay one of the popular books in Ghana, Courtesy for Boys and Girls. Okay. Hello, Papa. You will be a friend of Courtesy for Boys and Girls. And no money say so for basa. No opin from Jinaho. Now we are branch out to what or so uma opin for no kwano transit. A mannerism and the etiquette. So and to Papa you know we are seeing a woman we talk about equality. Nyankopo kwana de bia equity no di adwuma. Or share nipa who needs no the amount. So on funny nyina eti wo hwe David Musolomo mu a omo family mu tum nyina na egbobu kokko ye equality nka obi a o Israel bia betima de hene but wo se so na yempa yeme ohene David ne ye ohene wo ye adwanhwefo eti Yakopon man David what he needs or betima achieve the same outcome say bia obi a wo odi share kan ne betima nya bisa and sometimes you have to vary baby also the equality kono de ekọ baby also the equity kono de so ye kwato abanoses bi yenye equality dia ene or baby no betima ko parliament. Even though say Ghana na a man does say man but difficult to say a man face no enye easy hwe adwuma krampo oba no kra wadi ne hu ni kra no wotuma fra ba esi ko ya o yesi oni be man nada ene oni mpenipo ne nada won hwe de kai no the to de bia yetimi set position say a man na ye de won say a social club kwa treasure one ye man ye treasure a man do do na the man treasure because he believes say man omutimi hwe sika so because ye bo makoma utimi bo okunutimi bo de yira koma one city but beba aduane obedie no wonu an tum say enye say sika no de ma oba no so hu enti no sometimes equality no it brings about a inequality so inequality so that's it enti no ye hu no saa ade no nti over body so wako a Belgium even say bia EU no laws no be found but omunim de friend it is citizenship. Makaje said the only citizen citizen by birth, not by naturalization. America, you were permanent resident, green card for no. One of the unclaimed citizens, one of the one say on the Nikrum Nega, and the council of Bitma, you America, yeah, no. But the Ghana now, who work of forms are fairly says it's also natural citizens because we are 5 years in qualify no. Who a year citizen, you know. Well, your pages are yes, renounce your country. I pledge allegiance to America. Why can I? American Indian himself who a hypocrite because can about who be the room. A year na passport insertions the security no or money the natural citizen and no money there or yes citizen by birth. Hey, park opa man shooting for America. Yeah, flying cockroach be as said Nicola Liberia. But what we are natural citizens? Pay bit my Jeff from him. A bad candy can you bit my natural citizen, bit my Jeff from him. Mina mekano na campus or ye green card no it will be what America green card no dey adwuma or any problem or come back because green card 10 years na expire na 10 years na be ba no was the only advantage be America citizens say be obet me to kwan visa free ni ko be money America e will visa free because on parity but yes I na other thing go to federal obi around me the federal day because every election is local election e yan ko focusing federal election no. It is an even the Constitution of Ghana or my president, no president say he shall take precedence over all until we hear the president here Molansa. Yeah, the balance back with my president, no, because you say you see president or 30 million. Who be we didn't feel for. So until yen share any bibia na you're fighting for equality. Equality ama free HSS no. Anyen is here no. because you see we use Kenio, we use Yenio, you be more the same textbooks. Abans over to textbook amount. Abans unfair boarding fee. Ya can akufa doenti. Me wana sika school feed in nkwa anu kwa you know a free HS na budget the 4 billion school feed in nkwa efa mu 1.6. They be I can say the 2 billion anu kwa from 1.6. For no na ye de koto textbooks so ye de koto electricity boarding fee is man enye ye. But you see equality. And no na the quality na no operator ye no managing was also there be enye ne sa. My one otumu was kano omutumi hwe omma na otumu ko say bia ye support omo ni bi no kebit man insu tax form kebit ma hwe ene ye leap eye living one ye did ma senior for no Ghana no ebi o senior say ejatwumo bia ye say ebi oni bibia say bia o sika abank mi boa omo emma musika kakra enti etimi hwe sa no mani nyina boka je say operator ba no betima hwe nkura operator betima hwe nkura be 1000 school no wo se ne bank for the free dia ade na enye yi wo kwa extreme form of socialism enye yi because wo be here obi sika na odi twa saa yi no ene say de bia na wo betia na ade pamfo say abancho omo uniform modern man kra no wo be hwa ketra for say omo se ntwa mo ka omo feeding kra best 6 months basike ye equity a wo ye papa betima hwa oba no hwa oba na yemwa ne edibin mo ka so de yemwa na yentimi yi obi kokota sometimes people because yes equality by when so equity to man kwan so that's equity man kwan it is you know a normal what a constitution any bibia absolute and it me ketelo right or no be mo so that's here a woman say yes by your shit mission do no about me bit maji wasase or say a eminent domain e be a honor they transform a bit here a bit more board the whole country but or say a compensative by your budget for them so it won't say yeah kwan and die away in ye bubu ni nyina na compensate eminent domain wo so ntia say kokota ababet mesu the power of eminent domain no agye from him say ade we ni si anje a ebetuma ba oman no o say etimije na etimi bo oman ni nyina ento body say what free Spain akoy de be na Spain de na ye wa Belgium de omunim say wo bebi na ba ye ebi kwa na Belgium kwa na speak omo nche dan kasa nti wo de obetuma ko adwuma na enso o makoma mu de enti wo wo hunu sa de eye say unu say wo free Spain akọ Belgium na de sila na within European laws no nyina no wo be benefit the but by indigenous laws no de omunim say eja sebi ba wo ye ko daki na wo ko ye wo de you know obi ya wo de die mu anything as wo ba wo die mu na yanje wa ya no say wo ye Ghana ni wa ba Ghana na say 82 as a second class citizen obi man so ye 82 bad even though say we are citizens of that country no racism wo ho segregation wo ho no wa ba wo man so a de bi enemy ya me so be du Kotoka airport no ye ECOWAS line ni Ghana for line na enko form ye Ghana form hye cubicles no ye treat Togo for no me nka say ntito mbado but say de omonwenye omo say na ye na Ghana for ye di line but say wo ba America JFK she say de mutiti American citizens line on my form who crowd yesterday a permanent resident will line quite different. Yes, welcome home. Mom yesterday no welcome home. One from home. Almost sad and home. Enti yenhwe normal enye bibia na equality and equality David.
Okay.
Enti no now papa wo kan say na ye wo ho no.
Yo. Wambade ye bedo ase pa. Why? Me brain intini yama adofo so nka kakra bi because I think I have about 25 minutes. Bibi aba intimi ya sure say Bibi may be able to sit in a little bit. Or the on frefre keke. And now you may be able to support him. Also, okay, all right then, that's fine. Intimamintie, Wafa Kwame next. Before Wafa Chuman and Akwantufuo comes. Wafa Kwame. Any Bamasu.
I drink it.
Beautiful. Naboko de Alpha.
Yeah, 1 hour kai. We must say, no more Tadi and Swasses.
Papa was equity. I can say no. Say, Cassie, a more bia a winter clover or Papa and obey your trio. Or be about
I would say, yeah. as we are learning, we are deliberating on these things, it brings one fundamental truth in place, and it's everything in its rightful place is the best. Nothing is good, nothing is bad. Everything in its rightful place now is the best. And in cases we would need to use equity, and in some cases, I was use equality. That is how it is. Ofa Kwame, yenkwe, also boy nkomo kakra, boy nkomo kakra. Aye.
Na me betu ai omabuadi.
Uh-huh.
No de pim so no.
Uh-huh.
Na me de madwene ekọ ho ni say Asantefo pu baby say ya de wo no odi o nye de kom de no.
Eti say ade no wo na wa mmea ma wafu pai asela obedi nyasa.
Oh Debbie, enye sa na kire. Say respect for ownership. So Bible cry so am say Bible so or the capitalism di. Was it moment I met more chrono the NHS will be at the also you protect no. So
no museum sa atwu kakra no museum.
Oh, they too fam. And you are obey your home. Na eja what me abo bre ye what me akwa ni ma no. Enye Growh no because enkrofo bi ebu Ghana for kwase a Ghana for te ho omo man. Enti wabo modern no anya ni sika. Wa hwese bia wakwa ahafo na wakonya osika no abesi udan. Kani asante amamre na mechu yo. No abesi udan neja. Wenye bi efuo no bakra utumi tu free kura se wono hande over mu obi foforo. Now, edru time wo susu say ikoko no. Owura no wanting koni kromu ana di mbika kobola. Ati uti wi arasa jusika na di aba. Saro no. That's when yani sika na o jinani a woti nchen a wonti ase. Ni mane ni yiri no mo ji wo mani a wonti ase. Sati enti wo ade wo de the madam for no na se come do na me say eduane a me di me no ncha also oti ase. So uba nyam so dia no no philosophy no different no. Also wanga so nya wani o wunye tu ya one day pa yo hu yi be wunye tu dia otumi di bi mu obi. So because come here and they come from boni me ebeni petrim when say Ghana ya been nye gwani nyina when say politicians in na chimi esa o mama wa Ghana for hey enti Ghana ni inse so odi na mani hu be politicians no so no dia koni ni aso. So ekwani obebu apo ekwani a obedada wo ekwani chese kwani a obenya wesisi obi a no afaso because you will survive na survival mode ni so de se wamfa bi befa uja no mo kwa olusu sana akoye enso senka ye na nke mpanimfo no yehu se omutumi imu man no nke retire wo mu na nke ye practice participative democracy eno de nke ye wa once awe kroba de bibeko ano but we de yakofa class of people bi ena wo na wo egine kase na wo join them more tinchen yenia ye di kwen ho na fe sisi ho ye ho basa enti over smiling the idea one no die no Sadeɛ no one could bo or micro no if you are more the media. The befanes
Okay, all
but
right.
so
Mr. Yenya Obeno so kakra. The idea one na eno wodi. Oh. Me pese ye hu contest a ye this idea no ebe ye adwuma a ebe boa ma yetimi akonkan. Right? In what context ana odwen say ye de sa abebuo no eye adwuma a ebetimi ama yetimi akonkan. The idea one no ana wodi enye de komde no.
the and no crew money say Yawoa over naked do. Now a brabo and a betray from your bed to your death, no. So you be me will be face life no. So enti Yawo woneja unyantitie betumi a aboama wali buguda. Unya wa acquisition wo dia. So because Bible cracker say the say so we a lazy person. Wow, no. You have no right to eat. Oh, but what they buy more what they buy friend is saying maximum ka maximum there. Any say nipa ye wo to on come do. Enti also nipa to me develop a system be able to pass it through life. No nya ni equal share. The when you share no that's why I'm so about so no so a problem because talent need them say their mind. Now my talented that my akwadwo kichi who face problems are who hwehwe kwane a obe solve problems no. Now will be meye my no be meye my internet da chese wo de wo ewiase e boy no wadwene wo mpese odi beye adwuma wo be mpese odi beye adwuma and no one is enkrofo meye na say e tire na say hwe ya rewo chana fo dru ye mamu chana fo dru ye mamu na ye man a wo madru mo no there are so many things I want to me aye ye man no ko be free and some because the ones road my no that was or prosper.
And they say, TSC, another arena na.
It's a develop no.
Okay, all right. Anyway, maybe I bring to a crutch in it, baby. You offer Kwame Mammy, why not? Offer Kwame, yeah. Why you offer chum? Na, wash Bibi was on so Bekabia, and then a wise man, and why there be Akabi, a Melchizedek. Only the only person na Abraham or say on funny title movie Melchizedek also for penny Melchizedek and Kwan or Deberman. There should be a reason behind that. And he may sure say Melchizedek and receive no bit much church mama didn't ya Abraham ya na say na priest bibiri e wo ho sa time no na on funny title movie I just say Melchizedek kabna Melchizedek pe ofa kwa me to aso akora chi be hwe why
Mati me dasi bebre enti the idea wonu no die no ye ba ho no mu a o se hu se kwasi broni enye kwasi broni okay kwasi broni o se hwani o wa che magana fo nya yedi enti Ghana fo nya yedi no eni setna ho magya Nigeria fo be gi free ensem na ochina omo betu asie so aye pasa enti sie dia o se egbo hu ban na mum yempeni fuya enka oso omo hwe na omo magana ye Ghana omo so ni nipa omo say o me na asem kra me tie kra no yes publicity in Nigeria for ye no Nigeria ho yes Nigeria for nyine to free Nigeria metra Ghana Obi say Igbo for nko decide so omo bagana ombe pasa left alone alata any yi esro of way. So enti kaneno a na de ekon gi asase a nkanu ane so omo asan omo so enkrafo bagana say senke ya ade a ye say omo kwan na omo ni si enimu no omo bro ye ni anka mpoano ho nyinaa kɛyɛ wɔ mo de so bɛsi sɛ deɛ yɛato hyeɛ a kyerɛ sɛ obiara tie no wase sɛ ɛko rɔfrɔfo sɛ wɔn kɔgye obi asase no gye sɛ wonni level a wote sɛ Russian de ɛne laila ɛne nkurɔfoɔ bɛbɛ mu but woyɛ powerful wosua tuo yɔ wotumi kum nipa wotumi sɛ nneɛma de a ɛne nokure ni ɛne nkurɔfoɔ mmra a wɔn ahyehyɛ ano gu hɔ no nyinaa wotumi pushi to nkyɛn wayɛ deɛ wɔpɛ ebi na sɛsɛ Zelensky ɔne mu a ɔkɔ ha na waba ha ɔkɔ ha na waba ha afei koraa deɛ yɛsɛ wokuro no koraa yɛma plan nti wo koraa ɛhia sɛ ɛbɛyi invite wɔ de ahyehyɛ mmara no wɔ baabi ne yɛde ato hɔ wompo saa ne ɛbɛyɛ no no. Obi nso nti ase o me enra mi no obi di nkomo na se hwe Trump oye no because Trump oye family man pese odi bibi janema enti on pese wewo bia beba na kwa mu na ne may live onu live good ne man so live good na fe obetie yese monko defend this also affect you na ekon yes unlike penny ono timi memu yi de ono no onipa nti o say kura mitimu mrante no enye o madwene say ye be kokon upo wompo ye be kokon na ho ye no o kokon ye ni eyi o penny na mu atu ahene e na kokon enti obajum the what ya midimrike ba before Christmas die na me duru home say de be ya eja ulman ansa na me kono de me pese obi edi ni tuo ba be se brabo me ba na se nsuo no nye kra ye be hwehwe kwan yetumi polish nsuo me so minim de nso nimu kama se totokakra yetumi filter no na ye portable enti mekasa ebewa enti bombardier take over na fi ya mumusa sam mami o na sam yentin nke bia ne ne me nkoyi America awo ho weather no nye na from abone so wo ni zone ho enti se ne ho ye dia ene asem papa ne ho ye dia mumusa na kira kwa ma enti bombardier ene kwesi ene wuku ya mo bebe de mi jaina amanfo to abeka bi emre nu sua mahu so wa hin mu nyina land na fe Ghana nsem bi ho no nso a yenti a maboya mani ne ya fa ho adu da se boba de entimenka ya tembi bibi o
Jahano.
bibi umu na mo sese mu kutansa fo anti boba de wa ye yi dia na bibi take over na fe
Bombade. Okay.
Wanti kasa
Hello.
Yeah,
Bombade, carry on.
oh kabe bibi say o
Me wahana me carry on. Twaso. Me drop pieces
na
here.
ema ejachum twaso
Yeah.
ejachum ba maso
I drink it.
you mami I'm coming any eja said the opportunity na questions and answers enti me say the wabo when would the abandon the better kanyina enti yenda wa kuma so obesa oka question be na answer be na obesa oka me say Wesley girls for religious Islamic and man so and the also talk about equity and equality so no obit me so I can watch it.
Yeah, okay. Mati. Me they are not a bear me pana, yana me conduction a campus. It's a nra, they can be this year on my team on. A kaka crab near in fear 69 years. Your fee won't check. Yanko Ponso and Yabo, she cap the breeze or my mo. And they are canny good leadership and the cry young can. And ra, me catch your said, maybe I'm a team on cry, tell my west. It's a huge area. Now, your friend is saying, in show, and ma through beer pipe. You know, him said, water is life. Not yet true in show, a real swap, papa. Now, dear, here how to flush the toilet, not in fear, in show, in show me. So, now I home chipa. So, now, number 4 tankers will be big show. Well, a banner so can be answering training. Me also me take the time. Who's me advocacy. Maybe I believe in the spirit of excellence. I demand accountability. If you say a minute a buying card, yes, it's in Yama or Mana, but me water bill. Why is the government also not doing their part of the contract to give me water? So me all the costs, you know, will be Ghana Water Company will be up. Nobody be crowd. Obviously, back home be just 50 will be up. Nah, there be answer me baha because nothing is working. It is what we be jina. Any anama me bufu. Yen yanum bi. Ejina se MPP aya dia by papa. Ebi see NDC ya papa. But when you are on the ground, you know, me who are dia papa no oma you. Papa no ewo hin. E kwan e wo kroma nyina eso atutu. Abansu ba e wo see year of Growh aye we. Wo mu agunu nyansa akwaje bosia. Busian yen ye woman check the mind, Oko Bibiana, a VAT cream, near COVID-19 tax cream, the NHS tax, different levels of taxes. But taxes, I mean, what it does for me. Obi I mean, all my adult life, I will tell me who said democracy working, what the government mean who know, Prime Minister of Britain mean who know. But I see the systems work for me. Mr. in London, before about 2 weeks ago, we did bus stop our timetable. On your phone, you can tell me, say, bus, the other time, say, I'm power cocoa, no bus in creep. Maybe a power a few seconds, and I'm train, there's a number surface, the number on the ground. Systems are working. Me who portal behind the streets of London. Hospital, yeah, dear. What you walk around me at toilet at the abroad say, oh, Brian, who for some time the government they have to see you. Ko you say, any 70 years plus. The abroad letter, as a bowel cancer screening. Because all of them said, a barn have the responsibility to take care of you. Well, but now, woman, you see government working. So, you know, activism of governance. And who boy, and no, I have two few. I bet you now you see about 2 hours. And there, and you're not America. And next year to one, no probably say 10:30, that can also call off. I said, you have two few, I said, na yanu to titi abruchi obi si aban papa ba mahama ba eye Kufuor abai eye. We see the two of them to stop it. That's not both of them are doing nothing for us. Na ebi ye pepekra abeto bi chade ade emi so meeting na the woman can woman systems are working. Woman prime minister and be under the same democratic principles. No, there's accountability, there's transparency, there's integrity, and they respect the rule of law. They think about human beings. Say, you know, I say the same principle. I say nothing is working here. So I get mad that we was certain people who got the 80 party or a founding member will be to back for a NDC founding member. Nami make us only 2 criminal organizations. I just see 2 minutes over said to Kenya. I mean, Massa, because I say we my can't because you are a as someone me hamina, made me show me that because I have it. I think I deserve better. I want to see my government working better for me. At the moment, who said your government is working better for me? So I will never be a sycophant. Whatever they've done and conform with about Papa, because I still are low, they should do better. One more trust. I've been home at me from America. We are the same Democratic a year at the Sika loan at the top VAT card or at Timu. One to be who I Yansa and Nene as I got Jibosia Bruni who answer and top buses need trade. A beginning of London about this in Paris. One about this and for my Woodnam Gromha, keep the friend about a trotso, we would tremble power target that year crabby child man. Why are you telling me is the president of Ghana thinking about us? Yeltsin, your costa line, and to about this party we over here, so I feel why a Lord, I thank God. So I get very angry when I see Yenny and the MPP are buying a year and the NDC are buying a year. 1 year in Yabin, they do nothing for me. The way a British Prime Minister work for me, any American player work for me. That the president of Ghana or the party does not do anything for me. So I call those people 1 year. Clueless, sick of one woman, just 1 year, do, a dear empire MPP and this 1 year, me, I think they have to do more. So the British Prime Minister works for me. Ghana president or the party, that's nothing for me. You have 2 minutes so much to how that these 2 pillars now, life, so, me so, me didi, me toilet, I need water to flush it out. Unless I see a crab ball. And the president does not, you will regain Ghana what company back, will ring all the telephone contacts in Ghana, you will be in Kasa. We'll call any government building. I tell you, the High Court, the ministry, my fee, my toilet will be in the back pocket. We'll call toilet, but toilet will be done. I'm a handkerchief that said people are true. The duty of the government to provide these services is a public space. Or was a NDC and the MPP. What do? They don't provide toilet rolls in public office, in the ministries and government agencies. Toilets in the hall. But who better to a toilet roll? Most of the because I buy way about what really about a dear pan about a dear bawa. It says a year. And that's a some a dumb and I didn't do what is maybe me who's why me because we were London, we say British government does a lot for me. I feel it, I'm not blind, I see it. Both in transport, in health, I see what they do for me. Ghana, who they are buying and where their money. And conforming to anyone more platform, so obviously, I buy you a year, and then one entry, yeah, anything. And then, let me see, you do Kanyas out to you. Say, see, our bed about an hour ago, and I miss you and start here. But the whole of yesterday, not a drop of water was coming through the pipe. And what my West here, I'm talking about 100,000 people. I said, don't can you? It is out here, Buchina catch him, say, about where Papa, and then do put to my bag where you're anything. What are they doing for me? And the moment you're Papa, you piece me, what we are doing. You can't call any, you can't hold anybody accountable. Who is in charge of to supply water to the homes in Ghana? In front of Ghana Water Company. I've called all their contact numbers. I can't get through to anybody. Until one now, what was your way, you know? Why? One by 2 years past about where you almost tomorrow, edit the
Yo, Ejachum, and Motin can enter Ejachum can public what was over person over a jolly toilet to accommodate maybe a coin in case for a first aid purposes. Save your food and talk to my paper back with me. One of Naja. You could want to book. Maybe I go to one also here.
You see, why can't you speak from the same thing? What about God? It's good, sir, we pay MPP, we pay NDC. But we should ask them to do more for us. What would be a question? And so more say, they don't want more. I want them to mean who's over here for you. Truck driving now, you're about to let down the roads, not portal. The portals are full there. And so I buy the about the idea. There's no reliable public transportation. Abroad, Scandinavia, UK, France, Germany, Belgium, Spain, US, Canada. There's a reliable public transportation, buses and trains. So how can anybody come and say LPP about it, NDC about it? Show me they should provide public transport on the streets. Said the who are Britannia. We call public offices, ministries, agencies, high court, and lands commission, government buildings. So toilets in the world, all right. But who consider who do something away okay? So what can be a who and two bowels? Would you give you by what I say? What's your toilet room? Let me be in the world. I want to say yes. I buy organ hand as I buy here. Make the handkerchief a paper 2 times. Free or I'm saying the free government agency. I don't matter toilet room. No matter 3 years. Now I say a backup handkerchief. Community the beer be coming now how to use the public and say a bad beer will not come to my aid. And yet homophobia you sycophantic, woman you're so blind, woman dear about toilet roll they don't put for anybody. One public transport trotro, so why would you car and this public transport or a friend of trotro. I'm going to trotro you bassa. And yet dignify what them might be to plane. Maybe not do the public buses, double decker, it is so TV now will air condition. That is what the government does for the people. Train, a big underground train, tube system, to form the office. This is what the government does. Every Nkrumah say, woman now you see the same democratic principles and then they run it. I didn't hear the Nkrumah say the bus the top. Ministers, woman who answer Busia, the name of Ghana, Busia between you. Yet, are your friends say, it won't seem comfortably. I don't want to be the same thing. Maybe know why. Maybe just here. It will be me.
Somebody, Mr. Wara, Mami knew of a Chumano man. Why? Okay, over to
Obeso Kade.
over to about
Then also Busa.
any toilet room was na Americano. And it's about or solve problems, but on solve problems. Yeah. And this utre ye na wa ban baby Johnson ma baby you to na say aka paper nko ade a me test me ko market kura me dey to pro she me no e bi di you nhwe na say woni angeke kwa o to mushu a ye friend say waste paper bi paper bi na dey strong because woni mtam a ahwe obeba woni mtam a oyefunu be wo enti ebi kura na baby a wo no na toilet ni hon enti kona bi na obeye oho a e so tumi twi on kakra enti it no enye straight is obeto true asho ebi ni so pocket would be shishe mu a solve problems ma wo enti wo na dia e magana fonti ase say ye problems bin no but dia na peto true na fashion me dasi
Yo, Medasi, yo, ejat me dasi. Yanko wofa bapeni Greensboro for a brand here in Bakupe. Meki Sedek. Meki Bamaso Sedeki. Meki Sedeki.
ni we free ni din na wo de pedi fufa woni mu na fa ma no
Kwabra Boate. Kobe. Ah, yeah, or the game no part, no, you know, and
to je para to je
or you know, America, but you know, yeah. Na any only what ya me call a year ambassador to Ghana, a year or one here chapon, one here, Bamaso or one here. You or why is you know you pack our Bamaso. Honestly, a boy Juma of pharmacy tea. And yeah, as back where said that I'm say, a year abrante your friend Shafik abrante Shafik or your kremoni na or nasam kodan Ghana or school friend university girls no omo ya ye nyimu enti no ni nyina ne se omo ma nkremofo students for no kwan emma mundi Ramadan almost for some so musa and conform to the Christian nature of the school Methodism no Methodist school if on the na abrantie Shaf Osman na sem nyane say evaluate constitution no article 21 no say for article 21 na edem nim na kire say article 21 general fundamental freedoms or say all persons shall have the right to freedom of speech and expression, which shall include freedom of the press and other media. See, it say freedom to practice any religion and to manifest such practice. In the advantage in our constitution, it said a woman says school near Methodist school, and then so say Article 1 can say no law or any maybe organ beyond overweight a year constitution, which is the supreme law of the land, and you know. Supreme Court now to me and say at Methodist school West Girls second school no say omuma and chromophone crowd and Ramadan omushe hijab any the kike ka no and the ordination he say about constitutional freedom no freedom of religion, equality and protection from discrimination. And they say Muslim students and they prevent themselves or to me observe more religious practice wearing of the hijab, no, say Maya fasting during Ramadan and other Islamic rites, no. And no na a year as a friend of democracy hope one also year and Omswako Johnny suit no as friend of the court, a friend amicus Korea, no, some Subebuama, it messes a seminal. A year to be consumed West girls for 14 days, almost may you mano. Yeah, I'll say you're more quite preserve religious identity instead of say Yabema non-Christians so I or Modie. Nenubi Nabiaka says some have described the lawsuit as a landmark challenge to policies of religious non-accommodation in Ghana's schools, contending that the case should set a precedent public institutions handling religious diversity. And when you some case say Ghana, Asema Yakohe say a Supreme Court the constitution or be compromise constitution 21 say freedom to practice any religion and to manifest such practice. Attorney General so Kujinama Western girls. A woman say Western girls Urban school there, they no, they are still being run by the missions, no. Ain't no yentiminji sa right of identity no or Muslim, even though say sis a share Urban stuff. Ain't almost so a penny girl said, and almost command amend the official statement say almost make full defense of the case, no. The entire etisano say a woman says no, even though say constitution no ekasa say no yet me a constitution is to me reserve rights of some identity say net say the group one school no so okwa almost so if you da omaka kojuma Friday prayers almost truncate classes no almost pon be 11:40 am now my unit no so after no Muslims one now yes already appointed omukofi abraham come to me or say come pon 2:30 no and say no Supreme Court am obi a chance what person do wasn't be about Fabra, but what my Western girls. And tonight, as some people say, so schools are a year a what religious identity, no. Yeah, momo and properly be a no a year can say but maybe sure a identity of a a close blue honor. I mean, can ye aha a year institutional faith clause. Institutional faith clause and mission schools, Methodist no oben be sure say Methodism and edi him wa almost remember that yenko school nti omo Valley University kwa no empenipo communication students kwa no memenda ye nhyeda nye bibia SDA post school woko Otabe post school kwa ye charismatic omo so omo mra a omo de bane Church of Christ yensu ye wo school wo ye say adedente so kwan so promoso kwan so anu so no ye the Church of Christ normal na ye mu ho school say ye Anglican school so no so call bia casa Kumasi Anglican secondary school omo so ye Anglican for normal sans na woko Amedia omo so omo ye mkremufo normal Islamic schools bebre so wo no omo so ye normal so ye busa say de na wo dwene fa sa asem no ho na yentimi nko nim se yenye na identity yema obia practice and say obi ba now is also a traditional worshiper or say it kwan so obefra obekuta ne bodua na wahye atade se ono so observe normal abra yenhye ne se bia onko chapel na so onye yi a no so aye ne de kremofo no so no yema mo hye hijab no maya afi no na omo so emfa nam skum ho na say wo call chapel a beti bunka njen say ombra na yi no emum no obema ne kwan akobo ne paye 5 times prayer no mo na fasting during so within fasting na we idi fitel ne adan na yema holiday na wedi den na ye kafa saa asem no ebi sise bia we betuma boa ama yetime hu bebi obi ada say freedom of religion. What does it mean? Say obi betuma ye bibia opebia say ebia misum ni enti no say school in identity say ya ye ma wo kwan na ye anase yen keep sa identity no say ebia say wo ye kremoni na so post de na ko kremofo school wo ye kristoni so akọ kristoni school na enkofa sa identity ye nya adwuntwe na ye de akoma Supreme Court na omonso in ebi ka obeti ye MPP for omo Joyce Owusua Befi or your member MPP legal Ghana's constitution allows lawful religion. So as an institution, Wesley Girls SHS has no right to discriminate. Ehona okremoni ba mbizwa okasa wie no ena okremoni ba a ono so ye fa no Hajia Shahadatu Al-Hassan unya te Hajia ene so wako Hajj no wako Mecca anti Hajia title no that's the feminine equivalent of Alhaji. Hajia Shahadatu Al-Hassan on a head of corporate communications Ghana Railways Development Authority no on also say there are Muslim schools that also compel Christians to wear the hijab where you money ba on also ekase ampa ye won kremofo schools wo Ghana almost compel Christians so almost wear hijab no say hijab ye maya fe no won say obaby she maya fe de na obi nka je say oyekemoni ya me nana emi na say wa mame omo ya santi kremonti won say maya fe no wa hye mu ahodo mma nyina ehye bi me nuanom ne nuan rakia ye zinab ne me ame wa idusu santi kremo ban dia ka say kofichi but oye kremoni nti wo ba yefia me na fie de masachi ho nti kremoni ni say ampa because na bi ka say bi nti sa say Muslim for no compel Christian we ye kremoni ba ono aka say ye Muslim schools a ye bi na obi sa obeya me boni din ye Joyce Owusu so also ye Christian or say the constitution no is the supreme of the land there Wesley gets for any right be say on discriminate enti say obe say kan ho asem a question answers na ye say the so school bia and keeping identity ana say yema obia onye unconforming to that identity no yema ne kwan na ye make provisions for that person no na yen to enti make you ho biem
We have a body.
and ba ma so
I think I see na question get to na person busa and sana mapo. What am I kind? That come position. I don't have to fair to the as MPP ni ba eh dey say okay fan MPP ni ba ne pa. O dira asem.
asama me ka tie me
Tie ni pa so meti ete na woka.
make tie
Aha.
eye news na me kan enye se me na me di hye mu
Where ye news and make him an
argument. Maybe Grammy
yeah, also Mika or Bandit and so Sabe to Maka. And yes, a news maker, a picture.
yes, you and I'm so dear, Mammy, Matua, I tell me, oh, you know, oh, I'm crying. I'm telling you, I'm fine today, but I'm challenging you. Oh, cannot also
okay, yeah. Kwabena ba maso biu. I don't know about that.
I didn't get it. I could buy and quay and say,
you okay, Kwabena ba maso.
Yes, a song for too much. Oh, man. Almost democracy and freedom of speech by America for you. Almost schools, almost schools in the idea. Almost the umbrella. I would tell schools more on them. What was our Kali school Nibia? Oko Emre or Kali school one mono. No, this won't mean is one. And for Obama. I don't know my gun and Omu suit now. Messi made the phone back court to say, Messi better me boss, me be na me some them in Papua. It would have on them one. Messi me alright, the same in Papua, the Kobe be as a medical. I'm not playing mobile and Papa Padaya. I don't know my clan will be sorry and a group way. And I was a Samsa. Matter this 42 almost old at the IO school. I didn't want about now. Almost a minute was school when Pump me another swag. Schools to doors. How many go away? I didn't granny. I didn't granny when I be out here. I'm up for doing development. Yeah, it is a Jasam. Jasam. Hey. Honest, I'm going to school. Wesley guys are going to school. Far go baby. Obama, why practice it? Yes, practice it. Then they be any friend of a woman can send quite as a movie. Oh, my baby. Huh? What is it when you go to Rome, do the Roman zoo? I don't know how you can, Omantiana. Clubby as should be an enemy. And gramophone near Mamma group. And I want Christopher to claim my Jagum. Of South Africa, yes, South Africa, create to Tumfo, a chroma. Almost Clubby one nipper to Tumba who claim him. What to granny? South Africa. Are they? Ghana didn't piano, I know my rights. They look at their rights and come with JFM. I bet you'll be the right local cause of person one year punch. I know person one a cramming. Was also the rights, no. Then I did piano, so I want tears and papas will be the rest of school. I think what I said be rules in it. I say near the politics I him. Then no be near Jagum. We never cut this once. Are they? Huh? I don't want to say you know school. Petron, oh, Ghana,
me know what you can. I'm dear, dear, Missy, almost 2.230. Friday, come upon let me 40. 18 non Muslims no more, near Yatumu. Media Macasero can a Becca cano, Obisu Beko Neke say, and Natalia no. Say a right,
I'm not in the right in it.
Yeah, media. I want to share ideas
because don't do our gun, you know, be at one or semi school. I'm not school money. I've been a time constitution, the other school. So, the constitution is one when your man for sick mutia of a chum say constitution, the class, I say, Unipa, Esre. Constitution move. I think of a chum debut or ban or it's in the constitution. I know the movie once a monka. I'm off a young light in Yenin school. I know Yamo. Ade. Now you are say I know top will be a pen or set as a one. So, oh my God, I know. They say no, the way I say, yes, the goodwill be a man this for the open on the no. When we are goodwill, a bequery and no or mine or my bone. O man said, John Mahama near the other cranipa who we. From the Ghana for no question will be a seer. And I just asked if you may be a no. Kakayo be and to be a Timinka. And a muscle body and qua. That won't be a good one. Not Ghana and I will say, near San Stati afresh. I don't know my Amosia Kufuado your bodeni, Unimi answer. Ghana, the piano, or my royal artist, and a royal artist, and will be a whole good, and a Yamase, and a Yatu, and you say, now South Africa, almost 50%, well 50%. Obia could negotiate here, dear. Aquajo, and Ukrasela in Kuyi, yes, 10% in the Honeyama. I Ghana Fujina, I can say 10% and once more Ghana.
NDC for no at me press conference I Ghana phone in him. Say 10% na ye gidi abre Ghana no unconstitutional. Hey, only in Ghana pe. And I say unu broni kwaya de ne ye dodo ama. The something of the PDS as a one no. Ye abrofu ye 82%. Everybody decided to me why am I no be 82%. As a Ghana for more, Ghana for 51%, no munya 49%. And ya de said Ghana for kutia sa ni ne konto kwa ko say PDS say be papa say be you can cry. And the top because yes Ghana for and say nyanti no. Ye ma Ghana for nya ba ye fa 82% e ma block. No me dis kind of sister and family America ha back. Say the person to me yeah Jimmy won. Jimmy
Hey, Pamela, who you brought
then you may need to some. And then my
minimum say why you the one can be na me show so we be ni na.
Then you need some. So to and then Donald Trump bet me abeka Ghana for Donald Trump beka Ghana for say onu bibia pie wo Ghana na Ghana na for meji 82%. No America no enfa less. Trump bet ya say no be a negotiation the 10%. Aye who the parliament. Ye the lithium na che. Ye the lithium no. They be a petrol platform to. Okaze kufu ada sisa lithium di yakwa kwete ablofo. They are touch really for. Now the oba here. Who the odia che nimpo no. Mane fan che ne sa. Oba here as there be. No no odia che the young constitution ah. Na esen ka Ghana nya 5% and kufu ado there. Onu di ne nkwasi asem akwaji 10% ama Ghana nti. Wo bu mra so. Awurade. Na baby out. Then the person to me the Jimmy no ayi
who you the patuntumo.
I don't know me and my bazo mo ye my papa. Mama ye
ni and as
I before yes and a woman and any way. Before
Mimi kama use
no papa jawa de no jawa chapa de the bigger portion. Uba ya so papa ni mi answer. Na say we this any man come broni mum na broni ne de komen na busuafo ni say cheche kiti ko ekobo mu besia de ba ha awurade anya hwe ni Ghana for pe no na edi ama om nkoso aban papa ba na mso be wie good way no and Captain Smart to the platform so e ka since 2021 e be 2024 sika ya allocate man national security for ni ade no 9 months ye 8 months ye o ba ye wo kura do so no and the imagine doors for 10 years, 3 years as a 4 years here. I know say they go for any sikadie. Which cat is a chewing. I know them. Actually, be a band of qua, bang or treat near the Omaku. And so Ghana for and one on pa. Get me up never some Namoka. You know, no minor, as I could die pick. They be on me people man in Pia, no mind that. Could you talk? The bank and I go na UNESCO says say kwa hipiko say kwa hiu. It's their record. Ba mo dem nko so am ma baso. Me dem me mo ma baso. Ba yi o monten. Ma twoma dwen gina se be bia mo de o man na eko no. Emfa ntwa kwan mu. Kaden ye de say de bi ni de enye ansani bi ene yenim da. Ai trawari as a one te ayi. O be trawari ya o ye small boy. E be di say nkwa. Na call that timi enya the god. Abetina ho katre Ghana for say your own constitution say Ghana nya 10%. They see nya 5%. Anya nwa e ba kwa ka de bia e see nya 0% kura. E see nya hwe. Na ayi na nya ye ne de be share ho. Anya Ghana DNG e see nya hwe mpo. Ade. Aban papa ni. Aban papa ni. Po a wo see aban papa ba no we. Aban ne papa e wo mu ne ne wen. Ene ne ya bebi ofo no. Ne ya bebi ofo no. Den say wo sa se mu. The mom I better say champion there na a champion ewu akwawie no by 40 years back no na fan the back say oh Akwantufuo dey we that e di patuntum to ban enti na ama de bi obi aba no di kwase asem because say obetra we oh e bi aba pa dey we anyway o ye dey em say twa na ebo na kwam be we anyway dey o ye dey anko yi na obi agina so no so dey atene na kwam dey aya de papa dey bi ye be bite tada so saa gu ani ma say ai to ayampia ku ani ma Yanyansafo na ebetimi ehu se si enya 10% kura ne ade a eno ano no ye ne ye de se ebejo 10% ompa pa opa kokrum yanyansafo ne te baabi ene yakote sa baza wala afuyi adamoni fuyi Palestinians fuyi abegu ye so kan si hu tre se ye unconstitutional on contribute na say Ghana nya 10%. Everybody Jesus Christo. Kan ho ate. Kan ho. Na say mpanipo ni omugu ya nimu idie. Say Cresin ena no pom sori omo no mu o. Say die na omo no mo dia me di minim. Ensuo ya say galamsey ensuo so na ase omo adwen dia. Omo princess ni nyina wu. Ena omo de nam ho. Enti akra menka sanche. To aso. No man dey. Akwese oba ya no kaze obeka ho asem a ya num di anim de bia beka sasa uti kra beti. Uti ebeti. Yakra. Ya menka Ghana fo ho ye de ye bebre kwa. Ya brebrewu. Ya bregu. Ya bre egu. Abibini. Ya bre wa asisu. Akra me da se why.
Yo me da say ene misaka eye say ye adwuma. Akoye research ya na eja menya memorandum of understanding agreed and adopted by the government assisted and private teaching schools, you know. Echi no bedru American kakra na me friend ko say obi anye de na makenkan kakra. Ko paka wo ho. O wa hene a champon. Not the Ike. A champon.
Yay.
And one when I'm kay na we to you know. Say no a real ususu. Bamako.
You can see.
Advocacy. And sir about 620 work upon crown.
Oh, it's not speaking Tinunia.
To all one revision near there.
Tinunia. School fees here. Yeah, more. Intimate town workers say more.
I will for any so do one terminal report. So that's it. Our day. Where do you hear
our day, they tell you say, our day, me momunko. Momunko, our day.
Our day, no one go, and I say, open no muka grandma man as a day.
Me momunko.
And this is not that for me, so no most what gauge you say, Jan, or Madame for the Jan Manager when you can cravy. The baby first gravy cranny, my men with Janimano. The very end of the year, for dear, I want muka crabba. Like I have when you don't work on the noon.
Yeah, good too.
Hey, you kiss the international father, you dear Johnny Papa, that's Saturday. By force, we see. You check canteen now, what for canteen about one page your neighbor so check canteen. What's the case? So a chance for A to B, H80, A for the you move your normal passage and number 80. No passage by your as a age and on near Jack. So we say, oh, Jenny, a divinity, you'll be a jet. Hey, what's it divinity? Naja, over you know why you will be a jet. What do you be Johnny have? Oh, that was the best of time. A year our day do not. And what do you check every report to the other? Why, because I have any position is out of my back. And I say, yes, who defense not their court, no Papaniaji. 80. Oh, why it is sad that I can't say Bonyan Besutino. One nominal revisions now. Scoop is a try more than 10,000 cities. No, and you're quite that you're quite. Next week we'll quad questions and answers. As I made that one here about equality and equity. Once say you mo be a pepe. Then 1 million. Yempa 1 million mo be a answer equity. Nature say you be money per corner the here no. And yet the or say the mo be a na on sweat mabuano. And I yaka school as a minister Ghana better ho about mission schools are West girls are a year. Unya Shafik Osman or the West girls second school akoko say more discriminate against Muslim students or mamu pra mayafi or mamu past during Ramadan and mamu practice or more Islamic practice and say 5 times a day prayer no or mamu nyenti or more person say bia method no or monko sorry any no man to say etia Ghana constitution no article 21 no say everybody has the freedom of religion and freedom of practice and until assembly the Supreme Court and as you say and then so be assembly so yema schools what identity say religious identity no or more practice on identity na one any sa identity no
or conforming to that identity school, and as I say no, yen create space, Emma Wana, yes, a piano inside Gideon to say a media names a cremusum now we Christonia, ye comox are also could be. Ye Coprenia me and I say almost for say Coprenia me Copribi. Sounds no we cremoni now call Anglican school, Methodist school, Catholic school, Church of Christ school, Presbyterian school, Nessa almost in share or Muji DNT and no ye casa qua sorry could say casa ye my own practice with the old professor practicing now. How much is to affect on my identity so I don't know yem soon quite and ye try to adjoin that the Obia Becabia, the Common Supreme Court for Supreme Court or Yanya or Yadjane. Na yɛntumi fa mboa no na wontumi di ase because asɛm no mudi a ɛbɛbinde the whole nation wenyɛ high court asɛm and court of appeal asɛm weyɛ supreme court the highest court of the land no deɛ ɔbɛka bia na binde the whole nation ɛnɛ ɛne ɛkyɛ na nti no ɛne ne asɛm hɔ ɛna sɛ wo ankasa wɔ ama ne bɔn so a na wama yɛhu na yɛkɔ anim da ase
That's it. Wakasa. Kwabena mesia o. Chenya no nyina. Ayana efa second one I will kind about education and religion in education. E wo Ghana harmo no. Wachichi mu bebe no. Me say de bia Ghana no. Ye mpese be ko yenim. Me say Ghana no. Ye mpese ye be ko yenim. Na yitimi twentwe na ase. Yitwentwe na ase sa yitimi fre na nsi wo no. Emma nie se bi betimi akọ yenim kro no. Anke betimi aye easy na ke timi ameki very good steps or stripes na yetimi akọ yenim. As for wo kan ya Muslim for any Christians needs education na Muslim ni kwa na we fan asem no school no omo principles for school no dada school no principles for school no dada asem we also can do 2 days per Supreme Court no and what's an check kra na ye on say ye be ma emran aye ma say ye see oh said ya institution this benya hoden any the team poor any the opposite wo yo no any opposite with my achieve my students no with my achieve my students what ye akanya asen kiti but omo de baba two from just to buy time na yen baba ye no musa na wo fa ho ye ba ye no 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 so e fa bigger agenda kwan papa bi a omo betimi afa na omo de wia wo man no enti wono ye politicians no they be catch the politicians they be almost second agenda constitution and Supreme Court no these are issues akebeto kono na we one day today papa opeso we kremo opeso we kristoni ko na ko sua na ko o kremo fo school na media ni mo primary school ni secondary school ko papa ko no open ha na opeso pa ko na wo achieve certain standard now sa na mo kan na opeso ko dia when we Christian na opeso ko school bi ahomedia na opeso ko na omo peso omo accept na omo accept both this and that na with me akwa nwako but we must omo de say no de tia omo timi accept bibia na we and what's the better bontin waste time na ye high discuss issues we see because when you issue was me na was be discuss issue just 1 2 3 akwa say sadia a man member issue that parliament na sada Supreme Court na ye to ana we ntimi ansan na we assign na we again popularity na government no those in governance no na mo fetch ye no mo we chi bebre ni ya ire ho ye ka no kwa ne ko foi
ɛfa adwefofoɔ bi to do the country adwene. Oh, Prince. Yeah, mobile. Hey, me I'm so we are gonna be calling man so butina wusu. Mamie, ka also susa. Also can wait me who? Because Nkufu Kobi, say o man no. Nkufu bi kro say o man no. O ma say o man say o man ma say agents them Prince. They was going on for so king. It who say wuti no ya. They were walking king baby some brother when you king kind some who sing through baby now can good kind through good things oh me say you never be man come be 10% be as business Jesus Christ yeah say a issue da ho no mo pa no yeah open Akwantufuo radio I see a drum man who into your real way say you know quick say the communication ya into your real way share minim country community say a year Saudi Arabia and I say one of these Islamic countries every city White House mean country crop no so Trump and then the governance no $600 million was something amount of that now okoye for reception at Trump the man no I want Trump to on any case compared to Tama when Trump kasa and compared to Tama no one South African leader president any kasa no political African leader no one forward adungo ni adungo ni yehwehwe kum team and am tese to one mo o se busa se okra ka bro fa na wo school hefa wo young wa je papa ne se toy woni sa di pa ne ton me zin komo no akore bro kra enye na dwu kwa nko and nam so all this America for ni ntino a wo hu se ko kwa wo mo di ni ntino o hu se we ni mo sɛ ne bɔfo nya kora na adwene wo ne tim wotimi accumulate wealth ne nko anti no I have to respect this guy or that kan ya sɛ sika ne kɔ kan ne kora no was na 1 trillion swear to God these are people we communicate with and yes sir when mom go ha no na mo ba ye bo mo ba so do ma ye die no wono ma ye ko no die o mo timi nya hwi ma ye ye hwa ne ye bo ma ba so omu timu nya hwima yo mu ha mu me baba ye ni akanye ni ye mu se sankofo we omu timu nya hwima ye uko Saudi Arabia akwa nyina ye yi hospital aso say omu free healthcare no mo ton no enye ye gbe utwa kada fun tantan kokora ne bra ogbo ti ko mu hospital ni bio uko hospital papa equipment gadgets and mo bo go no ye sha ayarefo ni bi abu ko obi so ko ju so Comrade, they know kind. Meaning how truthful that statement is. Say 10% views. I don't know. But if it is true, the comrade can be last kind. Maybe can you be a good move and can say the Canadian say ye public sector 9% and then staff BBB presidential staffers 67%. Say oh ya look then a full neighbor we are soon and yet see him. Eti next year ni baba ni betunde to mu adika say yeah I don't know man it's crazy man it's serious I am kind be say soon say ye that when ye that ko shin ko fu bi so onyi hu ye mo bo o hwe say o be ma to ko ko ye to den say o ma no ne sa be ye to den o ma no ne sa o fi panyin mu na gusu abone go fie penni mo san kan sin ko ju ko ko yu juma baran ka o no fa o fa mo ya fu ka kan na o bodo up no se ye be do se state na wan ka san wa establish o no wo di ti mo boy you wicked ass ye di ho di ye fie no no bo mo di din o bi ma tu sa
no mo fo no mo yedi ne ko fi episi ewu no mo tra ahofem ene ahoje so me no ma wonten a ai na tribia me bisa mo se ade din na me hunu ba bebrebe tantantan bebrebe si ke to soma me kaminya ya na kemenya me hu se bibi I don't know but maybe I don't ahom tie me oh ni timi ji wani mu di bi won mo tisi ti aban mu no me ntimi nyom bi edi bi mo support o mo kan fo o musa mo question yourself well say enti ampa say de mo kase agi yo mo so no eye no ko pass agi je to no eye ma wo no mo ana say ebia wutu kon question America de ho anu atena ana say wutu kon question London e ho anu atena unko ba bi bi mu ko hu say empuntu no guso ko so ba bi craft kan ndi enka o masem o ma gina abrentin no kan ni sanko fo no ye come so ye form sanko o mo kan ho Saudi Arabia, no, Dubai, no, enclaves, those areas near for Castle. So they say, baby, do Christmas Bay, office be bad in them, so Saudi Arabia, or Ghana, Saudi Arabia trip tourism, a day, Mumra, it's a group, group, only no cocoa hono. Bunyeba, you come at tea, no, see, a coffee, no one wins. Kebi kwen fan president kura fan ko mo for na e say na kiss ye to am yan ka say ma no kura ye hwe ye ma no Christmas so say kitimi hu say e plan say be to to bia ma ye ma no na ye school fees next year in between now and next year by 6 January 7th then come back to school ye nim bo ya etimu no mo no ne wo bombo abo emo bia fi apa ye toto omo ye toto abama wo no no ye mu tu ye nim mo bia fi no mo nchen ye maame no kwa na turu bia ne maame ne papa no kwa na turu bia na me real fu ma wo no omo fie mu no omo fie mu dudu no ana me real fu because dudu no e bi kura dudu me die because omo si so no ka so ye driver so ye mate so ye die ni fiem pen no woni bu fi be bia na ne besu ka to bi hwe ne ma no woni bia ti nyina na so ba ga si ya papa ti na ma me di na o de mo bombo sa na aban for the back now o mu ti ni bi bia fasa go fu we no ko
Me bisa wo yete obi enware na tamfo. Enti se obi enware na tamfo a na de na aye ware ya tamfo party a ebe be di so a omubu yekomu cause so obi enware na tamfo dia na so wa ware NDC for 16 years, wa ware MPP for 16 years a na sa ware ni se bi na adwene da ho ana de na ye nka no
akra meant me waro 16 years akra me worry a few way more I think the last month or something like that in the year in few dunum what the mention and few dun and ya worry few dun maybe
December 15
who is December ya
ai
enti me hwe en few dun no dear
yes omo ko be 30
me pa jowti me hwe en few dun no and na the sisi na me hwe ground zero from ground zero mu zero na ye na ye to adwene kakra ye si se de wo si ni na kopon bo aye de mfi dum no e ba ye na ye na ye fra dofo kakra bi mo be ye kakra bi na ye trasie na ye comfort die reflected ye na kopon aye no a na ye nyina kase akoma mu ehu se ye firi bebe bedu e bi apa ye firi bebe bedu apa bi apa anye easy o it is hard na make my comfort stadium na kansa masa na bia sia no me mpa bo tun kusu wia na awia anke be ya wura hoye anka me krabe su ade zamu ku fu se ne na vida me be ade na gana fu ye ho sa
We can, I don't know, we can take bold decisions. I don't, yes, a gun of we can take simple, bold decisions. We can't say a year, you because in school now, and that's one school now, and that's a DNT, and I hear Musa. It will be a timid, you will be quite you grow at Mrs. Kunia to 2 years. I'm a woman in a year. No, Kohudia. No, but would you know would you intimate and to 2 years intimate and crack a woman can come in and come up and crowd will come up and what the effect. More than we took quite a crack. Not if you're bringing a baby. Maybe a combination more fast. And it mean about Jibia Bear 100 winner when we wish for Mufanton Kubina Monday. And I say, Ibia of a watch it, near watch it, because it be fearful. It be a neighbor so we now magic cacay. Na Mufandi. Na Ibia Papa Smelly, Accra, and any Munji never come as seniors as a bema, Mufan to be the Mundi. And more yellow. I didn't really if you had it for Bimramo. The beer into for Bimramo, you didn't me for Bimramo. Papa, you didn't me for Bimramo. I'm crying to me for Bimramo. I didn't me for Bimramo. I didn't need me for Bimramo. Let the Biamama play. I didn't know what's about it. I didn't think there wasn't the
Mom Penisa.
No, Debbie. Say a year my Yohana. Say a year my Yohana. No one say a kunka. Say the Yawu to be now what's no side.
Your Ghana transfer to America. I mean, the Muhunia, if we hire Kohonquana, a year permissible. It can reversible come move a crabrea now. Naka,
and I may say,
the biggest negotiation.
Accra,
1,000 cities now by
Nanka Abba, Nanka also say they also know what to be because and yes, they be a more honor and they be a yamamo. And yet the beer and the yamo be beer. Many are meaning so with my trouble 5 years. We take your book accounts, no secret account of $500. We take trouble 5 years. When you go after 5 years, but your accounts war personal money. And you will seek a pie, a door accounts from a beer $500, $1,000. That's not the terrible children. But system now, say, although you still have the $500 now, we are okay because we. Busumi pure, but when you be 2 weeks, it's no. If you force for, which may be a 200 because and 100 be a year. I had your kujo. As your proper crash, you know when you see. Now you're able to be boa. Near someone, if you're coming with them, so I wouldn't say Crano, Mr. Oh, I had so I wouldn't send Crame across the sea and American crime, so many crab from a shout crano. Your canoe, Seminiano Cobra, because of the Timothy. Because me just offers what we are not between Kitchen channel, I was only on the pro. Say, I think a system in the medium of human commitment. I had then a coblanco or buffalo from a copus was a Mexico. And so soon, best some of dream was a complete one thing. Meaning, I don't know, between the tea, I was some with me, Sammy. Was a complete one thing. I could tell between maybe send only $300 or catch them so I over from $200 or for $300 who fetch a knock off what they are sending. A system, I ain't in trap. A system, a system, I don't know who you're come for some who is
you got to buy a nipper 11 million qualified, but 10 million at 5 million to my MPP, 5 million to my 18%. So, a nipper can crave in a tea and some Nasi and I say, the donor equity, you call Babu Cross, you don't know, Tani, you call Tano, and tea. Say, Okotoa, Abama, the all town war. And then every time I pass, I didn't say, any part of Brosso, any part 10 million, 80. The emphasis of the entity 1 million grapes in MPP and this will be a 4 million. And also a new crackable 8 million. And again, with my yama, a deeper 4 million, other side in the 4 million. No, it's me who said you will say, okunu mo ware no emwa nti we de ka bia ko munja awade ne na omo kope nipa foforo enware ne na omo asom nwu no nti ase no mo nti ase na ase no so efifie
Kobna,
because me
if I say,
me ho ase
Akra, say Africa Ghana phone, and I be before the entino will be ase. No crapa, say me see entino will be ase. And it's about from a dear kind cosa, my dear can quit in the baby, the entino will be ase. Sanke tino will be ase, and can see DA pan, and yes, papa cantanka walk, cantanka yaka, wabressa. Yentin will be ase, yentin moya. Yentin pese say, yes, you never page out, said you. I am say as a minium bread, Namin Kwame survive, Namin Kwame, me, and the Namin Mamma Nasan on best as a sunny air. Because the way Obu Crony, look at him say, hey, I am say, yeah, mamma, and be I means education a boy as why. Education, I want me to say, and what mean to me, critical thinking. And I say, it's truly away of home, it is true. And I say, yeah, taba, taba, because maybe nobody want to test you, and nobody will blame test you. Hey, what for the pair Juma? When you Juma yet woman Juma, I wasn't comparing one say, and no 8 o'clock, not on 10 up to a year Juma. Oh, be friend, will do no phone. Oh, be friend was, oh, and not make what a man so me phone, oh, be Juma, Bob, chain with Mums and Zanoba. Be high. But on say about from the source, I'm not go through the weekend now, but it took some kind of leadership. Someone who has the credentials, who has that kind of leadership and no ability and qualities to be able to change and maybe to change something. There should be somewhere ahead that well disciplined. I will be timid. Change power for the change. Upon the you need be. You we are scared to punish the wrong. And we are so happy to pamper the wrong. And now we are so happy to pamper the name. Oh, I know. Just I mean, Tim wants it. Na me Tim wants to so da. She a cray Timmy. Woman to do any no so to do any. You inspectors be or inspectors say any anyway. Say you can live a jungle the chico say and when the chico say from a judo kusimi made to consider bosumi a jungle bakuna de chima ye cocoa free woman boost you maybe boost you cocoa and one you talk 10 years to what chase and one and so pain at the end and the idea tongue ye fa home ye fashi on my friend Africa on my friend again ye fashi ne bed in a good leaders. Now we can say 2 days ago wife one attacker oh why yeah yenko Dubai na say could Dubai already ye could Dubai bisa catch me yenko Dubai already oh I say yenko hwe ni so ade won de work yenko hwe ni so ade me bisa say enti no be be wo mine one cause me we call with tamale call nim tamale I didn't tell cause yenko tamale na say yenko Dubai yenko Dubai already people developing a DMOP are willing to go there as tourists. Near Kanfu. Mr. Mumianum, as what me clean at it, Yamaye walk if ye, Yamaye, if you will be a friend for one candy woman, and a bra, and a bra, that's you, and a bra. Just look at how people get happy when you say $100 at the common $100, and I think it's about 100,000 something. I swear to God. We see from the raw market no bar. 1,000 man. A free them. A core. But free, I say next 2 months, be free. Now, Ubusan, no, best repeat. I say, Ras is one mistake. Say, what one the 2 food to cry.
or the cotton fruit to crana. And now the way I will say, oh, one fruit no. And now Hennebo, cotton, if I say, bunch or the much tree, one bia, and Kahadi, with my could be 20 no, be a baby back on 12 and I bisa, and now 15, be a 25. Oh, 444, be a 20, be a 25 cities. Nipadi was saying, in the bit my top bunch, maybe can. And it was all the $1,000, so $100 or cotton fruit. So at now 1, 2, 3. I used to buy neighbor. If you can't a banana, nothing a fruity, banana, not a year to not 3 days was a fruity, banana, not a year. Say Popo no Kotoya, Popo, I do 2-3 days here. I was not I am say or 5 days. Never one sitting 2 trees. I will be until nothing. Sika de my or mama or mammy and son. And crazy be a mobile, not only see a club, banana, you be not to see my column said because when you can be with my day, I can also do any fee. In Cray, the banana and with Popo with you, was kind of with the man assassin. I don't know. It's bad everywhere. It's bad everywhere. It's bad everywhere. Won't escape good beer because it's in it here. It will be okay. I say you find ways to me so much. What near too hard say? I say you be doing that things, which is wrong. To me, some baby. My mom make us say what? Say yes, support parties beer. I am mummy are doing copa. If somebody will fear no more, you will fear the brand name. No man to see ye support party beer still apartment. Me am why you stray you to konya. Say after you why kakra. Because we want to talk to them. No one support some parties. We want to talk to them. You are still in a struggling mode. Everybody on this platform, we are still in a struggling mode because of some political parties. Someone more into me, more into me in a year. Eduanai, yenhwe abrofo nkura omodi eduanai omo ekuro no ebo wono eduanai efi eduanai ekro. So you almost establish omo anything we omo carry omo to be eduanai efi eduanai. Na hwe ye no be tu kwan eduanai no kwekwe eduonu na sla ye busu struggle so na pako in and out. And I want to do it. You know, Accra, Mr. Obebre said, yeah, Coblin, me because we on our kind, but my economy first. Now in the room, now, crew is a see more some yeah. Yo, Cobna, friends.
Enti mechichi no enti yeda sipi okay.
Yeah.
I'm say just ne Akwantufuo. You can say chum dai asema be obeso kebia na chum. Okay. Kwame.
Me
Chum yo na me say school asema obeso kebia na.
In school asema, you see, hard. You know, say society. Maybe society is dynamic. At changing every day, or we go through changes. If it's a red rule, yeah, you lower some of the I don't know, maybe it's a Muslim girls, it's a Methodist chapel for any seaside school. But the moment they allow other religious like Muslim girls are all excelling on acquire knowledge, because these people got in there because they went through an examination, they got all the right grades and they chose Wesley girls as and I'm saying, as I say, lower standards like society is so dynamic. We cannot do it as it were some 20, 50 years ago and so stringent. It's just we need to bring out the most brilliant in society. I mean, my best example is this guy, this Rastafarian guy. At the moment, I think it's in University of Pennsylvania. He did so well. He did so well. Perhaps who knows? Maybe but something by coca, but this guy, this young man is exceptionally brilliant. Except while carry that kind of hairstyle, and Achimota wanted to hold on to their old tradition, say ABC, and at the end of the day, we know this boy was so brilliant academically. I see Wesley girls, and so I'm sure these girls involved are Muslim girls, and I think they are equally very brilliant. But so therefore, they are holding on to their religious whatever traditions. They may be up the katakata, but I'll be happy if maybe some of the laws would have been relaxed a bit. But I think we need a bigger conversation. We cannot just make one line decision. We have to look at the bigger picture, societal change dynamics over the years, and then where we are going to, and then if we can do that now. In Ghana, about a firefighting approach. We don't allow ourselves enough time to seriously interrogate all the issues, every fine line. And then a lot of noise making, and I would rather wish it could be at this time. All the people involved, school authorities, education ministry, parenting, students, whatever. We have a bigger conversation. So, and as simple as I cannot give a one-line solution to it. I would rather, if the team, I have my opinion. I would say we need a bigger conversation when situations like this arises. Because we saw one in Achimota, we've seen it in Wesley Girls. My reference point is that Achimota Bueno was exceptionally a brilliant student, an A-class student. If we had not allowed him to go through Achimota now, maybe we would have lost a lot of stuff. Now, we're not just an ordinary student, an A-class, A+, a brilliant student. We don't get such a genius a lot. Once in a while we get it, and because of all where Rastafarian, it was a whole lot of argument. Now you have these Muslim girls. I believe they are equally an A-class girls, or one, and the same noise. It's all about. I hope, sir, and in your education ministry, the school authorities, the church, Methodist church, they sit down holistically and discuss this, and perhaps lower some of the laws. That is what I'll say for now.
Religious or the religious young
Relaxing the kakra because we live in the 21st century. So many things are happening. A lot of things we cannot, as it were, behave in the same as if we are in 1950 or 1960. This is the 21st century, and we need genius students. And if and when you're not back, I think they will help. 69 years, we have made no progress. If we relax some of our laws to allow exceptionally brilliant students like this guy in Achimota and these girls, genius. These are not the average. These are brilliant A-class students. So the old traditions and I want those big institutions to allow these students to go through and go to the best unis in the world, like in America, UK, and then maybe they'll come and help Ghana, I think. So that's what I was saying. I'm not saying that.
Religious believer na the OGDBA was school BMA. Do you think say be to be na ye ka say it's child rights ye protect and crown necessary and so I will follow so and crown so amen crown is because say be a more maybe say rights.
Let me stop you there. Let me stop it, baby. I'm saying, say, in the case of Achimota, this one, he was an exceptionally brilliant. He was not even an average student, exceptionally brilliant. We don't get these people, and you say, how many people and what we are supposed to that A-class students I want to pass to Achimota? No, just once in a while, I think. And you see a dime will be a that special boy, one or two of them, they were exceptionally iconic students. And how many of them do we get in Ghana? No, we don't get them all the time. Once in a while, somebody will show up and say, well, you're exceptionally brilliant. And yet, for the general, those special students who rise up, who are exceptionally brilliant. Even this Rastafarian, he was not like you and I. He was more brilliant, more smarter than you and I. And I'm thinking, what's going on in Wesley girls, I think one or two girls, I believe they are also equally, and women get the standard students. I think they are equally brilliant as well. They are A+ students. They move on to all the best units in the world now. I think after 69 or 70 years of Ghana's progress, we get one or two iconic, brilliant students to come in society. And yes, they will never come back to Ghana again. This Rastafarian boy, he's in Pennsylvania. I don't think we really use the course of Ghana TTN. He went through a lot of hell, and now he's doing very well. I hope you come and help Ghana if Ghana will allow him with all the dirty politics we are doing. But he's iconic. You see, we don't honor our own. I mean, somebody like, if I may go in retrospect, BT said, Chatuchi Kata. He was not an ordinary student. When he went to Australia, he was at the 19th, first class law student, who was exceptionally brilliant. How many Chikatas in law do we having? And he's only one. Most of all the people in the Supreme Court, most of them he came from Oxford to come and teach them. So still, Jatu Chikata remains the only iconic, youngest first-class law student in Oxford from Ghana. He be Mekana Ghana woman did them over several years. So I think he still remains very special, very iconic. At that young age, coming out with a first class in a big university, Oxford, and in Ghana Supreme Court judges. I think that the woman will teach you woman in law school in Lagos or free Oxford. He all of them were his students. He taught them. So and you say when we identify exceptionally special, iconic, then we have to then relax the law. I don't think that is for everybody else. We must be fair and look at exceptionally special, different, and iconic, and exceptionally A+ students. Then we have to relax the laws, all the traditions. We have to relax and allow them to go through. I think. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, make me a kakra.
You went here, Bamasu.
I've been catching.
Can you say a questions and answers and equity ni equality once what does each entails? Say yemo bia pepepe and yetimi yim emma de mpakono ehiano and school the enso abibem advantage Shafik Osman or the Wesley Girls SHS Supreme Court say Supreme Court to me interpreting no maybe man constitution say or did he say Wesley Girls for discriminate against Muslim girls? Will no maybe home on so semi better home so because I'm a Wesley Girls 14 days so maybe one and I invite other private people say almost so in Debbie Omobiano. I'm not myself. So who about religious schools, both Christian, Islamic, traditional, and more identity. Ne said the Osha assembly young canimpa. Na ye who said the Bessia Cono. And now the view of the Sokabian so betting the account.
Yo, me that. Na many animals are moody and more dim and mechanic Michel Beer. Na me kakra mechanic say it's been long overdue. After almost 70 years after independence, yeah. It's like yeah, religious tolerable. So now Wesley Girls is somewhat saying no. Baby just say ban saying if pain as some way a unity. Na ekosto dada na obi ampem muwa. Ana panim bi aba Wesley girls on ma wire baby mo tintintinti. The car baby a kia could draw no. We should be able to integrate. Me jedi pa say kwan e fa so etutu like a senior high schools no. So yeah the forms be ban wa fairly. Na nka Wesley girls for mo ni mi say na mo the caveat bi ato ho. Aha ya practice monologue religiosity. Nti wo ye ceremony a memfa. So when no man kan me nim so mo kan na so mo anka. And a ceremony aba. There should be a room for accommodation. Na baby a me ko school me ko primary middle school or me am krom brakwa Methodist school near Methodist elementary school there by Methodist or Methodist or Presby or Roman Catholic near war DA this district authority na Methodist near your benzongo pa so nzongo for eba Methodist school eba ne near maybe near here no many idea kwan Sunday be say yakwa sorry bankramofo no de yɛmfa nhyɛ ɔmo woyɛ Methodist ne ba no wankɔ asɔre a adekyee manda yɛbɛgua wo na one advantage is that na zonkofo no yɛ very athletic ɛba mmirika mu ɛba bɔɔlo mu Methodist fo di fɛ so nti akokɔ ɔboa aberewa aboa mpɛ ɔboa akokɔ so we should be able to accommodate each other place bi wɔ Nima Pentecost for us or then, and come for us or them, almost share one parking lot. Now, no, let any be quack or Obi side them say, noise this baby. Say, wait, I get you more. Yeah, I let any be quack or I need my hall, a train for Nibi. The only place in Ghana, Christians and Muslims had one parking lot. And 10C. So, take a baby a year could do there. I mean, we've come a long way enough. Now, no, now we will be you nipa be more no by nature, no we a straight jacket. Tinti, me say, men trim me home. Into the cremoni obey ne hijab. Okay, mempeneno. Christianism on us obedi ne sabbat, mempeneno. The embisa and was say. Wesley girls upon so yare no ko hospital obisa doctor no say wo ye cremoni na wo ye Christiani. These things are a near be outsiders the say ye culture mu a edi yenya. You see, it doesn't bring progress. Quality here education. This is the church and the state. There should be a separation between the church and the state. See, the state nisi campaign support the religious organization there. Then everybody is as it should be acceptable. Bia. Oh, bia. Tini yadi yamesum bi beshemin tem one man. Yadi kuobi. So we Methodist, we Anglican, we Sabbath. It doesn't help the cohesiveness of the country called Ghana. It doesn't. Obi woho no mo a waso me den ntina ama na sa afiki kronos wan no ono so de beko court. Okay, akodu court. Ya de court no. Na mbara no so de ya na efi adwen mu ana efi morality mu ba ko hia judge bi a ana supreme court judge bi a or be or religious inclined. Obeka so okay, sana tell dia yemfa mbana ma Wesley girls for. Obana say no, now you're not helping the society. Yeah, first man them cry. The one focus and nam so about friend could do hon the training nimidie. Nimidie no wo. Na Christopher kwa to be a mentem se. To be a mente Christopher say. I see your friend be the great commission. Ah yes, I see go ye. Go ye unto the word and preach the gospel to them. Yes, Christopher Monko na unko de mutia ye. Incredible na ba manan. Prince oh yeah. I see the great commission. Go ye unto the word. And we can go ye. I say Monko even including zongos. Na mo de mutia ye. Zongo for na betwamo. This is a fine opportunity. Of a medibesia. Mubizum baby.
Yeah, that's inti ye behwe se de ebesi akono. Of a body paka when your chance and okay, any me ko ye alpha as well. Of a body wo you okay. See any na of a
Papa,
body
aja.
What is it? Belgium. That's over. But who call Belgium? Is it Belgium? Omuka French. Omuka. Then Casa Benomuka.
Omuka French and Netherlands.
Now what in Mubia?
Mente ba kokro.
Ne. Now to quite what to be your mood of communication? Then I'm on the
But hano de omuka obia majority obia
a couple of
obia come from. Yeah, part of part no na ye wo obia come from. Apart from say bia what say
say Belgium for work.
omo working.
Now who say waba?
Automatically say who register at the na kono ho.
Oh sir.
Who register kono ho. Say at the no ye monarch Brussels for no dey can French. Brussels for no can French, but ha Antioch side no and Ghent na yini and mo can English. Moka English, but official language near French and Netherlands still.
Okay. As way victory any progressive life honum na ja so kakra no na se bi obakote Ghanaian Belgium Association for Belgians Association na aja so wabrato corner no kama na se krono wa kwa na any Spain different we show more life in a year omo of say
Difference here, baby. Difference no sopa gap near kakraka. Say what the fa or more chrono senior or more chronotia. And this Spain now, but I say, Sabio, me fan so free south now or north.
Okay, so me show map na who free Spain no who contra France asa na who Belgium. Say one time kana Belgium ka France no. Say nti no mo related. That's the Netherlands. Na wo twa kwan
mu. But say o hwe senior omukuru ntie dia ebeka say obi a ote nkran na se bo akọ sirem no ho a na panduli side wo sirem okura bi ase sana ade ne tie but difference bi emu esan wo mu say ha juma sem no wo soro se obenya adwuma no so saying Spain.
No main job here there.
Omo, you say Europe na kwaye omo industrial obewura factories. Omo ye factories na na mo.
Omo 11 million pe Spain so 49 million. Is omo dozo.
Spain kura no say omo asase no se ne tie no na nka omo dodo anka. Spain dozo mo. But Spain asase no uchim be 3 na ni Germany be peso. Germany for dozo se on.
Say can na Spain so
Portugal
back Iberia.
but minim the entia
Portugal border pay
Spain baby, you know.
Europe, the fascinating is at the map na every 10 years there's a new country. Well, the animal United Kingdom, Germany, but what's your map on that? You say, but you know, one day over to Marco baby, because a chrono bubama.
Apart from say Spain and France, and big kakra bi so Germany so kakra, but Spain there so kakra kasa send out kakra.
Spain, France, and Germany, and Ukraine. So the Ukraine will come home there and the largest beside Russia.
But
okay, anyway, yeah, born to thought, yeah, and turning to cause road. Say, what can you say? Assemble a year school assembly, but that way, is a assembly could be caught a year for religious schools in you know, then also what you a yo.
in school as some no, yes, no, I am a kakra because I said, coming say school na there. Say, oh, many problem na kese problem na necessary say over school na now ye cremonia ye ma o kwan ma on ma school na second
Abrante be the Wesley girls secondary school court say almost discriminate against a year Muslim students say omo mamun primary yapi hijab no omo mamun fasting during Ramadan and omo mamun practice or Muslim practice bi ni say bia omo bobo 5 times a week zende kaija or the classroom na senka so na ka wotime ya ma kwa classroom na se wakopre nyame na wasaba and 90 omo dwin say discriminate here for so omo kwa sorry ni sa no mo nti etia Ghana mra or koti article 21 say obia freedom of religion so apart from that but my practicing religion and Wesley girls want say school so elementary school na internet social platforms and me yeah, memorandum understand that all the government assisted schools so almost say even though say you different identity, no, it shouldn't be a threat to the core religious identity of the mission schools. A media sponsor so science here. Any other religious body, no. And the Western girls sponsor say, who say war sa the ba instance school near metal school into no yentimi BB as a support a non Christian issues. So say be my friend Yamin in S under a threat or more Christian identity, no. And say some copy Supreme Court, you know, or my other private people abe join it, amicus Korea, a Jayano join Mahama trial, no. And he ombe rule one, but I bet the home and then to say a time say ye be mama say we mission school. We Islamic school my Christopher any because Islamic school no about 11:40 a.m. Almost any class no say Friday no ma koye juma no Friday spend next pon we Christo ni bezo school ya pon ba o second school pon 2:30 and ebi oko Christian school pa almost emma incremophone so enye ompeso ye so we Presbyterian no and ye Presbyterian na and she na obeye opeso kwa so obeko
ye ma pray nyame ye tumi pa ye ni ebi ka se de enyi liberalism na de obi ba na so so nye Kristo ni a enforce no na se baby ba no obema ne kwan ama so ma no aso so no suko for school so a wutumi nka se o close school no na ma munye kemofo no akofi na wo de ma school for no me kemofo no de o ma ye yinti bi ka for any against and for nti ne say asema da yen liberalism no anase yema school be maintaining religious identity, whether say Islam or say Christian or traditional, or be maintaining the identity of the two school. Say it would we are not makai, you know, the never to no crack na muswa the fine say the
on say sa on we nyina no to say manipulations na ekoso no ebi no we nyina efi baako na eko mienu mo se bi a rasta ne de no ba na me ka ne ha me supporto say atemotafo asem no mo ka no me no mo eye am say sa no ma we fi tama ete ho na ewo school ni mo no I practice ya normal way nyina ko Islamic school a omo wo se ne omo se practice ko bi ba bi a omo so se ne omo ye normal no ye ti asomdwem boni bia esi at we nyina na ekoso ni no enye Muslims no na amanfo fight am eye LGBTQ for no na che sa no ma we nyina chi na omo start sa tami iti if ba ko a ya na for na predabre nti almost start search no way anyway nyina no yemfamra mo na aditina yem maintain ade ne da so ye kramuni na se ukọ sa place ho na se ese empre a wako amadia eye simple wako ye onoma na obi ono so ye Kristo ni no so ukọ ebi a amadia for na 12 o'clock o mapon a o mo akoye megidi se dada na ye we ni na problem bi ama the moment I yeji we atum no kokumo sam ne mmaba omo so tradition ejitum enti ese e mmaba bi mo mokom e wo school mo ho ada Hindu for ne sa religions na etum wo kontina na se ejitum wo oman mu nyina no eso ba still ye om bibi mo practice enti school no baba ye si ma freedom ne yi ba be kill a chese mra no nya adwuma na ni nyina ye nyasa nimdia ye nti no ye constitution no ye de ato ba ya eni afa ne se oh bibia yenko constitution nim na no na bebo me yetimi aye we see me freedom that's the last time mind that's so Ghana no your freedom ends when another man's freedom begins oh constitution oh I feel freedom yeah no more Ghana am say oh wrong ho na mabonten a crime wono oba kura da mu sa abonten crime oh wrong ho itimi chew ne but ebiduru abi no obeka say na region no practice a omo sisi omo de abamu na omo ajatum asofo obi na omo yi na omo ajatum ye de ne ma da abonten uko constitution mu so esi eja omo practice omo de because say yanhwe ya enoma ye ja ho ma chirima sesi a na obi be ka be wasum de o adenti ni man kramofo kwan omo practice omo no ma adenti ni ma Christopher kwan ma omo but me sure say nipa no oye ready say or society ni betra dada ye timu ni nyina no enfa problem mai enkoso obi ada enha obi ema obi problem but and then because of say many a person no manti no ya kofa we nyina ba na ye kan na we kan see me ma dwene dia akiem teni saa de no e ma ne ngo ho na sɛ Methodist school a yɛnyɛ no ebi a ɔmo adada na yɛyɛ no yɛnkɔfa mmara no nso ma no yɛ kyenkyenkyen sɛ ebi a ɛbɛha public no egye di sɛ yɛgu mu kakra a anka mema adwene anka bɛboa but baabi a ɛkɔduru no deɛ yɛn nyinaa yɛnim sɛ ahwe aseɛ wɔ amotu ɔda nti ɛyɛ clear sɛ wei no nkyɛ yɛbɛdane ani unless sɛ bi a because of sɛ Christians no nso dominate more ɛwɔ nti ɔmo wɔ ano kakra nti saa nkurɔfoɔ a ɔmo no tebea ɔmo sɛ ɔmo yɛ intellectuals ɔmo fight for aborɔfo no ɛnɔɔma no dɔɔso ɛwɔ yɛ hɔ science na yɛde yɛ biribiara yɛsua yɛfiti mmɔfra sɛm na yɛsua science saa nso yɛntumi nyɛ ayi motowura yɛntumi nyɛ ne battery da mu da sɛ ɔmo yɛde ne kyerɛ no nti no ɔmba deɛ ɔma ne distraction sɛ yɛ sɛnea yɛbɛkɔ yɛn anim no a ɛsɛ bɛyɛ nneɛma akɔ yɛn anim ne yɛde nneɛma basabasabasa sɛ yɛ a de na mo yɛkɔgu ma yɛafi wɔ school mu owia ne nyinaa ma yɛafi ne nyinaa akyi no ɔde kɔbɔ korɔ no owia ma yɛafi ne nyinaa akyi ɔde kɔbɔ yɛ ayi ambrɔba ma yɛafi ne nyinaa akyi no deɛ na ɔde kɔyɛ papa bi ɛne hɔ ɔde kɔ akɔyɛ o mepɛ freedom na ma yɛ me fast wɔ school mu ɛwɔ nkramofo school ɔbɛyɛ saa nneɛma ne nyinaa akyi no de stay vice versa ɔno nso de kɔyɛ nsɛm no eti yɛn no sɛ bebree ɔmo nyɛ ne saa ma yɛ ɛkwan ba mu a yɛn ne ayɔkofoɔ kwaada mu nso no yɛde yɛn ma yɛbɛkɔ akɔpɛ ayi ne yɛde yɛn ma kɔ na tradition foɔ no duru ɛkwasidaeɛ a ama ɔmo nso aboro ɔmo ntwene mu wɔ hɔ because ɔmo yɛ ɛkwasidaeɛ na Ghana no akɔ so kama ma yɛ ɔmo pɛ sɛ yɛsɛ na yɛn nyinaa yɛbɛboa na ɔmo asɛ no.
Okay, nti ɛyɛ ɔfa Kwame ɔfa bɔdi nso adeɛ a ɔbɛba no nti sisi ɔfa Kwame wɔ finance yɛ pɔn no nti ɛdeɛ na yɛ final words.
Say aka yɛ ministry sɛ na ade ma.
Ɔdeɛ 5 minutes ɛka wasɛm.
Oh, ebi abɛka 8 minutes no me 5 minutes. Yo, okay, ɛnyɛ hwee. But America musa fundamental question to do. Bomodi ne tie. Ɛne sɛ enrollment no ye impose schools no na say schools na choose wɔn students.
Ɛyɛ computerized nti ɛkɔ baby a.
It is a Kufuor system no. Okay, internet say nipa no ne religion ɛnyɛ factor. But one person or no so better ne religion egu. And inti say idea say school no government ne tax ne revenue no be remudia and in say government no or responsibility say o put bylaws to be we impose laws to be on the schools because once I impose students was there won't mean for the reason of the religion. Now, me cry there, say, it's a beer and Moscow be a sem na care come master beer. But I did all the caternity. So long as the person can be identified there, where is the problem? You faces the same problem of France here no more. But France here no experience in and say there was a time ago terrorist attack be by a brand be and what address say oba. Everybody could dear who I no. Into 1 year and they say, Debbie, sanity, dear. And will say, oh, peer public, you best identifiable. Into me identifiable, what can I be a walkable bed? Near him so bani tracing on Nibia ne bema. Oh, I know dear, it has a good reason. Nagana dear, Nipa no beba, register no, or a student. Gramophone so the la enam one dear no ni ye free bibi submission. Submission is said there Kramoni no or me friend Kramoni po. The okomcheni no kae no yensesa no. Nti e wo se o tie de koncheni no kae oba kata otris. Baby wo hon mo a ya wo mo mpreso no. Ti se Jewfo say mpreso a ma hye week ahye tiri so. Nti ni ti no what the fake ones in the public na real one no ehye ho. So enti me who say obi free holy child na say oba Wesley Gesa ombe prenoma wabo omo ayinu bia na so omo amma na ambo dia na discrimination bia they cannot justify. Enti sra omo omo si omo tie ye ya bomba de bomoni nafa submission bi ko say Akwantufuo ye wadwen adwen kese ewom ya kire ya adwen. Enti womu make consideration na abai no any schools no ntrase na they come into what we call detente agreement. The beya entiase beye ejuma agreement in the ejuma dia it will be the principles of enrollment. The manual here.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Oh, why you far away? Okay. Just over sake be mana na yepon.
Praise yango ya niwa.
You okay? Any na ye beda mu nyina sin na meka eyi ne kakra. We memorandum of understanding agreed and adopted by the government assisted and private mission schools, schools are yeah system especially yeah religious schools and private mission schools so omo nyina kwatena say memorandum of understanding said the almost ayom normal na more purpose no say this memorandum of understanding aims to provide guidelines for government assisted private mission schools that enables a safe learning environment, preventing discrimination on religious grounds, to enhance greater social cohesion and promotion of national peace. Principal guidelines that the religious body in whose name the school exists shall: 1. Promote safe and healthy school environment. Promote a safe and healthy learning environment for learners, teaching and non-teaching staff in accordance with the law and regulatory framework of the schools. The school shall ensure the following: A. Unity of purpose and peace, under that in the pursuit of our religious practices, government assisted schools, all their stakeholders shall be guided by an abiding commitment to national peace, unity, and development of the schools and the country as a whole. B. Acceptance of diversity. The acceptance that people have different religious beliefs and interpretations, and that do not pose a threat to the beliefs and identities of a school. It is to effectively manage diversity. Government-assisted mission schools and all their stakeholders should be guided and directed in their religious endeavors by a steadfast dedication to national peace, unity, harmony, tolerance, toleration, and the good for both the school and the community at large. School environment. The heads of schools shall create an environment where students feel welcome without fear of discrimination and or victimization on religious or any other grounds. D. Values and ethos. That no student is forced to select or choose a school against their will. Hence, the said student must be abreast with the culture, values, ethos, and the rules and regulations of the school of choice. E. Mission schools emphasize a culture of tolerance, inclusivity, and cooperation while maintaining the vision and mission of their parent religious body. School rules and regulations. Rules and regulations of the school should be made readily available and accessible to the general public.
Pupils or students, parents, and guardians should be taken through orientation on all rules and regulations, including fasting, religious place of worship, and dress code. G. Fasting. On the issue of fasting, students should be allowed to fast. However, permission should be sought by parents, guardians, from school authorities, and requisite counseling provided before the period of fasting commences. Students will, however, abide by all school rules and regulations. Any health-related effects of the fast, on the other hand, are not the school's responsibility. H. Religious place of worship. In the case of religious place of worship, mission-based schools could make available space of worship in toleration of diverse religious beliefs and encouraging an environment of religious tolerance values which do not conflict with teaching and learning. This does not create an obligation to build a special place of worship. I. Dress code / uniforms. Only prescribed uniform and or mode of dressing of particular mission-based school must be respected, and parents, together with their wards, must abide by the given directives endorsed by the Director General, Ghana Education Service. Mission name of head of mission signature. Schools are almost signature. Number 1, Ahmadiyya Mission. 2, AME Zion Church. 3, Anglican Church. Assemblies of God Church. Ghana Baptist Convention. The Catholic Church. Evangelical Presbyterian Church, EPE. Office of the National Chief Imam. Methodist Church. Presbyterian Church. Salvation Army. Garrison Education. And lastly, the Police Education. Developed by Conference of Managers of Education Units and facilitated by the National Peace Council. Enti we adia enti na government assisted and private mission schools no or ekotena se a omode gu krata se we na be guide omo a ometimi de run sa mission schools, whether it is Islamic or Christian no, any private in no say na omo aka. It is also a ebi wo ha or cover school identity no asaka freedom inclusivity enti we say etwa ha ese etwa ha no aggressive double edged sword no enti ni nyina ye kai no article 1 of the constitution is the constitution supreme law of the land enti abedo akoto supreme court no almost one might as a constitution say sometimes enye bibia na absolute yetimi kete right obeka ni nyina bo obi a etode bia na wasem kra de ebia shafik no na asem de bia okoye lawyer no kra bia no ntimi as expressing who yi anase lawyer no bitma ama articulate points a ebima converse justices bono na ometimi di asema ma nti se de ka no ukokota your defendant and plaintiffs nti plaintiff no eye shafik et na asema koto no na eye constitution nso no se constitution baby eche wadwen ya obetimi dia and the justices are supposed to rule on it and also man omtimi say omo ebo once I constitution no say yeti ase because yen pese obi ko twese kan na we de kun obi nti na ya ye ne sa no we share constitution na say article 2+1 or say a person who alleges that an enactment or anything contained in or done under the authority of that or any other enactment, any act or omission of any person is inconsistent with or is in contravention of the provision of this constitution may bring an action in the Supreme Court for a declaration to that effect. The Supreme Court, for the purpose of a declaration under clause 1 of this article, make such orders and give such directions as it may consider appropriate for giving effect or enabling effect to be given to the declaration so made. Any person or group of persons to whom an order of direction is addressed under clause 2 of this article by the Supreme Court shall duly obey and carry out the terms of the order or direction. Any person or group of persons to whom an order or direction is addressed under clause 2 of this article by the Supreme Court shall duly obey and carry out. Failure to obey or carry out the terms of an order constitutes a high crime under this constitution, and in the case of the president or the vice president, constitute a ground for removal of office under this constitution. And to say the assembly court, yes, something constitution be as say constitution binding in an you ultimate fan call magistrate court, ultimate fan call I can say a circuit court, also the court Supreme Court, interpret constitution no my. So mo the kwa na ye omo machine a binding o ya e tie ka je say West Girls makwan sense ya West Girls for this so. Say kasa Shafik nso so stay net here also nso this obi a won this be no especially we president the vice president there or no it me you way for and one say of Kwame you will not be article no it me yi president any vice president day everyone
but the okay no and binding or Adventist for so because Adventist for no there's no compromise on the 10 commandments.
And it is a what you say no the call say any commandments in the it was the
one sign it is I you know I did buy no Adventist one it is binding way
one answer constitution no
me see friend say regulation so say the agreement money government no call you know and binding what
no sense no see SDF count
Adventist count
I mean okay me who is it for there but say and no crown once I revoke constitution article 21 there we are kahon the Advent pon kahon but say obi so wo kremoni bi wo I say SDF pon so school and am so university Valley view and it's obi so school mo no see say so see a memenda monko classes and na say be memenda no mudi humi den mo bi ankoto to mo be bi akodi wachi obi akị onu so betim di akọkọ but for now no am be make asema say so school na so ebia mumu no ye no ekutia na obetim di akọba for now obi anfa tin den de wo ha but when eba no say Supreme Court rule ya say aja tumo say ka the aja tumo eba be ye the order of the day for Ghana it eba fix private schools constitution a binding a public a normal kwa once and war Ghana no kwa de constitution by say we are citizen so your man froni so one
particularly Sabbath day no you respect what the commandment says most of them no any time be happy enti ye say ye nyame asem o kai enti ye de ye di nyame de be ye dwuma apef de o man no be impose no de
akwasa mo jewer de so for say omo ma moja ni sa no say so mo ko ya afro mate asan omo se de mo moja so mo no mu but say government no eye na dwuma na especially akwada o say ani me o say man moja na wo awo for wo say wo ye jewer de ye man moja Consumer say akwada no he's the property of the state and the constitution override the parents there no so enunti say parents wo ye na wa ma akwada no ya ma akwada no moja bit ma survive doctors medically say moja no here bit ma bo anas wa ma wo awo for no so no wo asanka
na to ba say no so we get a virus ma kwara no no
parents bem there wo suit me su state no e say a protest su state in hospital no but ma akwara no moja me kase anu say medical wise no say ko bana sa banti say bia or say ye ma akwara no moja and na bebo say wo say won pre unless say bia ban side with you say sa na tie and next day on ban attorney general ba any akwara no ye dia enti ye ma no moja but ye ma no moja na se moja no nye sanitize na akwara no ye dia wo a wo bit omo enti
okay go say supreme no constitution no is supreme but also bet me there to say on conditions say empire dey be ma member enti mo de moja no makola no Ese o nya yade bi a free originally from the blood dia any emra be kasa.
Okay.
In
Yeah.
Bebiano.
Na share your turning to God's way media abaso bia na what is it ye toto sansa na bato Akwantufuo do na ye promo na mo so aba beti nyame asem ho so ye
On what
beto
topic? Topic be
the powers of Jesus Christ no. And then so last week on living bread no. On living bread no. Yeast no. And then so about the power of the hidden treasure. Matthew chapter 13 verse 44. And yet say promise no e be what kind of Bible ma and no be boy ofa try no be one so I won't hear. It's no kwa no montin no ma but omobus say Yesu kyerɛ ase. Nti ɛno nso yɛka ne ate aseɛ no ɛno nso yɛbɛyɛ adwuma na obiara mmra na ɔmmɛtie some of the powers of Jesus Christ na ɛtumi nso aboa wo. Tumi ne yɛnnua bibi ɛna saa gyina mu in the next 7 or 8 minutes no. Etiefoɔ ne ɛyɛ bama so the second day of bama so ɛyɛ wo last Wednesday of November no. Na yɛde abɛwie nyame wɔkyena Thursday ɛbɛyɛ the last day for bama so na fiada nso na yɛ ma yɛde bogya yɛn so aba. Nti yɛbɛkyerɛkyerɛ ma
Nsu bi ho na mame anaso ma for Guinea Conakry Guinea ọmọ yeku atu so yeni na oti akonwa so
me ti say no an na we win says they said ejawo card on say bi ani na ofakwa me e ka no umma ba ko kwan a eno ano say Niger ye two civilian government Mali two civilian na wan kasa wunipa kina won so two civilian government na Madagascar fon so two civilian government na say edu Guinea nti say nnem say military rule na eba say military rule there won say constitution ga make e bi ni ho strong they can ebi ni ho enti wo no enti no constitution bi enu enti wo potra so bia cause the first thing any military government no and akrakra ni say or suspend the constitution because my constitution adwuma dia na se na empa wo but no on adwuma yemfa bibia bill bia nko parliament no aka say me MPP ni ndc say ne te so anafa bi kan or Bank of Ghana and a Bank of Mali as a KBA will be an obiting obia and time see military ruler no or mukwana so mu nyansa mu team develop it because obi no or no I can say participatory democracy obi no already so said you already so you say je obi ye program here obeka constitution 170 school bia you say obi asha dem it dia kenya photoshop okotwa picture try why adio Mali once a Mali guy no once say by was the 5 years I can't meet you brand now was this coming January 2025 2026 also come call you almost civilian to about or there be was the 5 years as I can since na ye ku wunim da fi nkware bre me na ye ku oba obeta no say or your military leader after obeya na wasa begina as a civilian candidate me one watch about 10 years old no wasa be transfer cause French found they more years or 5 years and 7 years and so that French born 5 years and 7 years it where was say or baso Mali den baso 2012 which 3 years was the 5 years account we call this 25 years 2010 2030 and son was said as a civilian candidate as actual and to be 25 years so even though it's a civilian rule no but so what to frame our arrangement now better since military rule no military rule no better with all the stupidity some part of a civilian rule no the assembly ye were gallant but so military rule be mu no what say you so two na we two sa to no or kwa say na or so that yes France for so to no America for so to no or yes psychology that's there or no nim say there we na enye or yes na wa twa amamba
na bomba de na abranti ya enye Etienne wo ya enye. Hey, I would wuti ya hwiase ya na watampra. Etienne nipa wo export wo feed Ghana for. Na wo can say o kano. Ye unya patriotic leader anti bra ye bredi anti mi. Na ma wo nhuro so. Akufo-Addo wabeye pasa. Na wenum na yemfa akunwe mo. Ko say you puto. What is this you hunya? Roti kokoto. Ono so katenemi. Tise di hunya.
You okay? You be say man, I am renting. No, you be say
Okay.
na actually BP. You be na wabobo angles that did not. You prepare ground auntie. Opa kwa mo ba no do Bible ba. Ene enum nyina yetu sapo na yeti mias. Ha na di dwumedi nsie obi aba ba.
Pretty woman, that perfect